Like this guy approaches you, or a figment of your imagination, and he says, "Hey, Vinny, I want you to sell lies." Lies? And he's like, yeah. Well, what do I get if I sell lies? Mate, you're going to be able to shag as many women as you want. You're going to have a huge house, an awesome car, a great job. You're going to be famous. People who don't even know you are going to love you. You're going to go to the awesomest parties all the time. You're going to be invited everywhere, go to the coolest gigs, backroom deal. You're going to rub shoulders with all the most amazing people in the world. And you're like, really? That's what I get if I sell lies? And he's like, yeah. Another guy comes up to you, Vinny, I want you to sell truth. And you're like, oh, okay, well, what do I get if I sell truth? Well, you're going to lose most of your friends. Okay, you're going to lose all your friends. You might lose your job. Okay, you're going to lose your job. You're probably going to live in some place that's pretty average, if you're lucky. And you're going to be basically a social pariah, and people won't understand you, and they'll demonize you and make fun of you behind your back. And you're going to have very, very few people that respect you, that you respect, that kind of thing.
Please. Bang. What's up? Hello world. Hello my children. Be seated. Put your ass on the chair, boy. Hi. How are you doing, everybody? We're just getting ready here for another episode, and welcome to the class. This episode is about the religion of science. As you can see, I dressed up as a charlatan that lies to your children and to you, and takes every last bit of real skeptical scientific thought out of them, out of their minds. I'm also a clown. I show tricks to your children in school, and I convince them with these tricks that they are real, that it's not a trick. This is a real thing that's happening here. You can call me a scientist, you can call me a doctor, okay? Just for understanding, just understanding sake, just for communication sake, for the sake of communication, right? So welcome to the class. Be seated. Okay, so we are here. I hope you are paying attention. I hope you're not high or something. I'm here. I'm not really gonna wear this today. Okay, it's super fucking hot in here, and I don't want to sweat. I have enough reasons to sweat in my life, and this is not one of them. Okay, I don't want another reason. So we're just gonna throw this shit away, and hopefully it didn't do anything too violent, too offensive, you know. Because those heart, what is it called? Those stethoscopes are fucking, they can be dangerous. They can also be not dangerous, not so dangerous. You know, it's all in your it's all in your destiny. It's all about you. That's the point of this show. Basically, it's all about you. You know, so yeah. Let's get comfortable. Today I'm a little cranky today, okay? So let me be I'm on edge. I didn't eat shit. I just finished off work. This is a Friday. It's 9 p.m. and I didn't eat anything, and all I have is some dried fish over here. You see, it's a little dried salted fish, this little cute thing right here. And then we have the secret formula. Would you look at that? This is raw milk, or as Natasha Campbell McBride says it, raw milk. This is raw milk. You drink raw milk. But this is not Frankenstein milk. So this is the milk, and now I'm gonna spill it. because I didn't think about this earlier or anything. So yeah, you just press it until your glass is half full, and then you stop. Okay, and then you need something to wipe off the fucking floor and the mess, you know, the floor, the table, your hands, your dog, your cat. It got all over your cat, your camera lens. You need to, like, you know, that shit gets everywhere, man. But we don't cry about that here. So this is cold raw milk, which is gonna sweat here with me. Basically, this is my food for today. And without further ado, we're gonna start. First thing I wanted to say. What did I want to say? First thing, Peter and Pete, if you're watching this, I'm sure someday you're gonna watch this. So first of all, my pleasure, it's my honor, really, and I hope I will do you some honor. Okay, I will do your work and your channel some goods. I can do it some, you know, I forgot the fucking phrase. Yeah, so I'm hoping that Peter and Pete aren't gonna watch this and cringe all the time. I want you to know that you're the main show here. Okay, thank you for your channel, thank you for everything. Your channel has been a fucking mind blast, okay, for me, especially after high school, especially after learning physics and chemistry and whatever, and not understanding anything from it, right? So thank you for that. I have over 400 hours, at least 300 hours on your channel with, like, and I watched and I rewatched every video and every presentation that you make, and I'm really thankful for that, and for the viewers. These two, a great example for real skeptical scientific thinking, okay, and for a real relationship, okay, a brotherly relationship, a family relationship, a sexual relationship, whatever relationship you wanna go in, put in there. This is a good example of relationships in total. All right. And yeah, so we're gonna start. I need to say a few things here before, because people been telling me stuff about me and my show and my style of presentation and whatever. Okay, so first of all, this program is based on education. Okay, if you think that I have nothing to teach you, then you can just close the video and continue to judge books by their cover and feel smart while doing the exact opposite of what a smart person should do to be smart, which is fucking read the book, right? My anger is justified and is corrected to the right path, okay? And if only 10% of us had, if only 10% of my anger, my righteous anger, okay, would be inside each and one of us, okay, everything would be different. The system will be different. Your school will be different. Your job would be different, okay, with people like me in it, with my fucking anger, okay. Believe me, because you're all a lot of people are docile and like stupid. Like, I don't know, like I worked in a place. This is the last place I worked at. You know why I fired myself from there? Because people are stupid and docile. They just sit around there and they just press the button, and the boss comes in and no, I needed to press 4 buttons today, okay? From now on, you're pressing 4 buttons. Am I getting a raise? No, just press the 4 buttons. Okay, 4 buttons. Okay, 6 buttons. Okay, 8 buttons. Okay, 12 buttons, you know? So every time they did that, and nobody gets angry, nobody says anything, nobody does anything. To do something, you need that anger. First of all, you need to control that anger, of course, right? You need to know how to control it. But once you do, it's the greatest fucking fuel ever, believe me. Greatest fucking fuel ever. It's better than crying. It's better than you know, just screaming endlessly or whatever. All right, it's better than fighting. Just find the correct path. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if somebody is offended by anything I say, or somebody is feeling something from what I'm saying, that means something is there, right? If that means something is there, and you should know that the problem isn't me or my style of whatever, right? Something is in you telling you that this is right, this is correct, and it probably brings you anger, right? Brings you anger. And what do you do with that anger? Exactly, you do shit with that anger. I'm trying to clean my glasses here. You're doing shit with that anger. All right? And either you cry, or you just don't know how to, how to express it, or you need to calm down and think of a fucking plan, okay? Think of a fucking plan with that anger, and you use that anger only when you need to do something, right? Yeah, channel that, and believe me, greatest fuel ever, the sacred gift of anger. There's a presentation by Mark Passio. You can watch it. Greatest presentation ever. And if you care that much, right? If you care that much about my presentation style, or my channel or whatever, why don't you fucking open something of your own? That's my entire point here. I would love this. I'm dying for this to happen, for people to open something up from themselves, for themselves. You don't need to even show your fucking stupid face, or be public about it. You can just be. You don't even need to talk to a microphone. You can just copy paste, materials that other people make, and spread that out, and help the revolution. So yeah, I would like people to direct themselves into action. It's one of the greatest wishes I have here from this show. This is one of the biggest points I have here, to direct people to action. Whether it's from anger, whether it's from, I don't know, intellect, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to name it, use it all, okay? Use it all. It's not just fucking a coincidence that we have this naturally, this anger, this something that tells us that something is wrong. We can't put it in words yet, but this something is called intuition. Basically, it's really connected to your intuition and whatnot. So okay, let us start. Let me put on my glasses, right? Because we cool, right? We have style. So excuse me if the presentation is too big or too small or not centered or whatever. The moment you take the file out of one computer and put it in the other computer, it just messes up the whole freaking, the fonts, the size of the fonts, everything. Okay, so excuse me, like this, you see, this is supposed to be centered. The religion of science. This is supposed to be centered, but it's not centered, and I'm really fucking angry. Okay, so so let's begin. Okay, things I want to convey to you in this lecture. Okay, so the first thing is the education system erases from our children's minds and our minds, okay, knowledge of true skeptical scientific thought. All right. The second thing, in the same action, the education system turns us and our children into authority worshippers, basically, right? Because you didn't do the exam, you didn't listen to mama and papa and whatever, you just worship authorities all of your life. You get out of there, you go to the army or whatever, you just worship authorities. You get out of the army, you go be a fucking scientist and whatever, and you're still what? You're still authority worshipper. Okay, you're not a skeptical thinker, nothing, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. Of course, we're not generalizing here. Let me get to that point first. The vast majority of modern science today is science fiction. To give you an example, what I want to convey to you, to give you an example of what is real scientific skeptical thought, proof, okay, which you can develop. I want you to know what is proof, because a lot of people, they take proof and evidence as the same word. It's not the same word. Evidence is something to convince the jury, right, at the trial, that something happened, although we don't have proof that it happened. We're not there, right? So yeah, so proof is something really difficult to achieve in this reality, okay? In this Joker-made reality, whatever it is, in this opposite, opposites principled reality. And if you can even understand that, then we're gonna get to this in future classes and whatever, but proof is hard to get. To convey a message to all of the closed-minded parents who think that sending their children to the educational institutions or government is a righteous and justified thing to do, right? What do I mean by here? I mean like a lot of parents, they agree that a lot of things in school are shit. You don't need to teach my children that shit, right? A lot of parents agree on that. But what shit is it? It's history. It's I don't know, whatever. Your child doesn't want to learn geography, so he doesn't need to learn geography, right? So you say, that's stupid. But what about science? What about chemistry and physics? You say, at least he's gonna learn that from school, right? Well, we're gonna show you exactly what are they learning here, and this is also for people. So you can a lot of people from the freedom community, whatever you want to call it, they don't have a way to explain to people what exactly in school is off, okay? And you ask them like, what do you think school is why do you think school is shit? Because they waste children's time and parents' money, and then they give you homework and blah blah. There's a lot of like good reasons. These are good reasons, but a lot of scientific minded people won't listen to this, because they will say, oh yeah, well at least he goes to school, right, to learn science, to learn chemistry and whatever. So I want you to have this to explain to them. This is the final straw, okay? This is basically the final straw. There's the whole fucking schooling system is fucked up. It's messed up, okay? Basically it's messed up, no exceptions. And this is the straw here right now. Chemistry and physics and whatever. Okay, another thing I wanted you to convey to you is to open your eyes, okay, of the people. Excuse me, I just Google translated it from the Hebrew presentation, so and I don't have any more power in me. Okay, I'm old. I'm not old, but I'm lazy. Of the people who opened the eyes of the people who studied science, chemistry at school to the reality of the matter, right? The reality of matter, how matter really works. It's really simple actually when you understand it, and not everything in modern science is false. We are not generalizing here, okay? Not everything. There is good science out there, like I don't know, like taking seawater, and you take seawater and then you put it through electrolysis, and then you have some chlorine gas, right? Chlorine, whatever. Chloroform? No, it's not chloroform. Chlorine gas, okay? That you produce from it, and you can say that salt in the salt in that seawater contains this chlorine substance, right? This whatever substance that we created, and that's not exactly proof here, right? Because then you have the argument, well, are you splitting the salt into chlorine and god damn it, I forgot the word in English. Sodium and chlorine. Are you splitting the salt into sodium and chlorine? Is the salt made out of sodium and chlorine, or are you creating this new chlorine substance, gas, whatever you want to make with it? Are you creating it from this process of electrolyzing the salt in the water? You know what I'm saying? So this is good science, but it's not. You can't prove it through this example, right? So, but it is good science. Another good science, vitamin B1, okay? Vitamin B1, which is thiamine, which is basically germ poop, right? Enzyme and germ poop that they created in a lab. And how do they know this? How did they achieve this, process? How did they create this process? They just watched it. They just observed this process in nature, and then they tried to copy that process, and it worked, because nature works. Nature actually works. Nature is actually smart, okay? And it actually works. So this is the best science we can have, the science that is from us observing nature. Okay, so every time you want to check something, every time you want to prove something to yourself, you need to check out how the fuck did they come to this to whatever conclusion that you're looking at, right? So yeah, and if it's something they observed from nature and redid it, most chances are it's good science. Okay. Also, I want you to understand that you are given third-party information. That is basically, for example, people who think they make hydrogen from water in their labs at home, right? So we're gonna demonstrate that later, but they're not creating hydrogen from water, all right? And yeah, that's because they have third-party information. Why do they give you why do they give those people and us third-party information? Just so we can do shit endlessly and never come to terms with what the fuck is really happening here. Okay, so people will get into. They want to lock you up in your left-sided brain. We're gonna talk about that in another episode. They want to lock you up in the left side, the male side of your brain, right? The one that likes the small little details, the one that likes to play to choose between shit and diarrhea all day. So what they want to do to you with this third party information, they want to put you in a box made out of fucking sewage, okay, and you're just gonna sit there and choose between shit and diarrhea all day. Oh shit, oh diarrhea, oh shit and diarrhea, while you don't even see the sewage material box that you have there, okay, around you. There's a whole world out there, and it's pretty beautiful and simple. If you just get out of that fucking stupid box, okay, that they put you in, that they try to put you in. Anyways, okay, so some of you already know that forcing children to study or do things they don't want is not a proper thing in terms of right action and truth-based education, right? And in terms of the natural rights the child was born with, right? You can't just make him do shit, right? All the time, 8 hours a fucking day. So yeah, with that same logic, you still send them to be educated by poor strangers in subjects they don't have or have to or need to learn at all, right? So not only, stay with me. For example, these two those who keep dogs and know how to educate them know how stupid it is to send your dog for 6 hours to be with 20 or 30 other dogs, right, in a dog park, when the one who supervises them is another dog, another bitch, right, that no one knows, and hope that something will come out of your child, of your dog, right? So people who raise dogs know this, but we are doing to our children. You think this is somehow a different thing or what? Okay, this is stupid. School is fucking stupid. The whole fucking schooling system is fucking dumb. All right. But our parents are brainless and heartless, right? So they don't think too much, they don't feel too much, they don't combine their feeling with their thoughts, and they just sit around there, whatever, I'm just gonna think about something for 2 phrases, and that's it, I'm done, I don't want to think anymore. Where's my popcorn, where's my beer and my Netflix, right? These are our parents today, unfortunately. Unfucking-fortunately, okay? This is my family also. Excuse me, family, but this is you also, okay? No exceptions. And even when you know all of these things and whatever, along with all this, many of you think that your children are still learning at least something, right? At least it's learning history and mathematics, geography and theology and whatever. You don't need to learn these things from in a class or 20, 30 other dogs, right? And another bitch that tries to keep it all together. And at least, you know, what happened to professional schools? Do you remember professional schools? This is here in Israel. We had professional schools before I even started fucking schools here. And professional schools were schools where you can just learn one thing and whatever surrounds that thing. I want to be a carpenter, okay? I want to be a carpenter. and teach me that shit, please. Give me a shop, and I'm gonna be the greatest carpenter in town, right? So what happened to those? At least those schools, right? What happened to that? Retardness and stupid people happened to that. Stupid, brainless, and heartless parents happened to that, unfortunately. At least he studies science and maths, right? We already learned in our previous lectures that modern medicine is anti-medicine, learned that modern nutrition is anti-nutrition, and here I want you to see how the education system is anti-education, basically, and how science is anti-science. Not all science, okay? Not all forms of education. Of course, we're not generalizing here. Stop fucking sending me messages about generalizing shit. I need to actually I need to make a note every fucking time I switch screen, switch a sheet with double E. Whoever saw my previous presentations, you know, this form of thing. There's a very big agenda in the world when it comes to science. Like many other things in our monopoly system today, science is a business. And like many businesses that exist today in our monopoly system, this business is a religion. A what? A religion. They were a religion, and they religioned themselves into a legion again. I know everything. This business is designed to convince the audience with demonstrations and evidence, not proof, as the business wants to claim, right? This is what I talked to you before that, about proof and evidence. They want to show you evidence and tell you, no, this is proof. At the same time, this keeps me cold, man. At the same time, this business method teaches the audience that there is no need to check things on their own and to doubt what they are trying to convince them with, right? So so they show you something in class. I'm gonna show you the whole entire thing, but they're gonna show you something in class, and what you're gonna do, you're not gonna do shit. You're just gonna take a test, and in the test they're gonna ask you, oh, question number 3, oh, it's C. Oh, question number 2, oh, it's G. Oh, it's you understand what I'm saying? They only give you one path of fucking thinking, and that's why you come home and you just make the test. You just do the homework, do the test. Did I pass the test? Did I answer your questions exactly how you wanted me to? Yes. Good girl. What the fuck, man? Fucking disgusting, man. Fucking disgusting. In all the scientific fucking forms. Okay, this is fucking disgusting. So you don't check anything on your own. This is a system that is made for you not checking anything on your own, and made for you to erase that part from your brain, erase the skeptical scientific part of your brain, okay, and replace it with authority worshipping and parrot thinking, right? What? He said that. What? A 3 answer. What? Can I copy your homework? Business. Okay. So yeah, and about the business, you know that that effect that people have. Like somebody would open a bread store, right? A bread store with bread. What is bread? Bread is seeds. You know, ground down seeds that we mixed with water and baked again to make this fucking bread, which is basically poison for us, that's for sure, poison for even animals, that ruminant animals that have these systems that can digest and help them, whatever. This is not food for them either. They can't eat this alone, okay? They need to eat something specific, like grass, like specific leaves and whatever, okay? This is not even a food for them. So the person that opens up this business, right, he's gonna open up a bread business, and he's gonna believe it until the end, even if it goes against the truth, even if he's gonna say, no, bread is healthy. You see, I googled bread is healthy, right? There's minerals, there's vitamins. Would you look at that? And he posts posters in his shop. Oh, bread it has minerals and vitamins, you know. So the person actually starts to believe their own business, which is exactly what is happening with these scientists. All right. Another example are TV companies, people that work in TV companies. You say to them, hey, bro, you know that you are supporting mass brainwashing, mass social engineering, mass, killing our children's intuitions and whatever through that TV service that you're trying to sell to people every day, or trying to keep them at your company, right? Trying to keep them watching TV. The person is fucking yelling at their phone like, fuck this TV, fuck everything, fuck your company, I'm gonna throw my TV out of the fucking window, which is the smartest thing that person could do in his family or in his own personal life. The smartest thing you can do is throw your fucking TV, cable TV, out of the fucking window. Okay, all right, this is the smartest thing you can do. But what do TV companies do? People who work there? No, sir, no, please just stay online. I'm gonna call my manager. We're gonna give you money. We're gonna give you money back, and we're gonna give you 3 channels for free to watch this month. You understand what you're doing here? So these are people, and why? Because they're just sitting there and getting money, right? Oh shit, I get it. I'm getting money for this. You don't even have to be a businessman for that. You don't even have to own the business to believe the shit, even if it's the exact opposite from the truth, right? Or the police, right? Or the police, for that fucking matter. You ask a police guy, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm the best guy in the world. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, you're supporting a fucking shit system that, ruins people's lives basically over shit, over nothing, right? Taxation, right? If you go to these people's house and you put them in fucking in a prison, basically, for not hurting anybody, and I understand cops that like, oh, I helped this old lady replace her tire on the highway. Yeah, I understand that, cool, but it has nothing to do with whatever you're picking to support here, whatever your soul is picking to support in this fucking reality, right? So which is the police, the courts, the laws, whatever. It's all fucking shit, man. It's all fucking shit. We don't need that shit. We never needed that shit. I don't know what the fuck happened to our fucking parents giving us birth here and into this fucking shit. Like, every fucking move I do, I need 3 contracts and 4 people are watching me and the 17% tax on everything. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. I don't know what our parents thought to themselves, but they didn't think it through, didn't feel it through. So this business method teaches the audience that there is only one answer to the question they ask, right? What answer is for the question number 2? Oh, it's C. Well, exactly the same thing. And if you don't answer properly, you are disqualified from the club. And not only disqualified for the club, don't worry. The religion is so strong that they will also force your parents to punish you for trying to think about things independently. That's actually something that happened to me in school all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Never mind what I tried to explain, okay? And what evidence or proof I had for my case. They would kick me out of class. I would go smoke a fucking cigarette like the fucking dumb person I am. Like the self-destructive fucking dumb person I was, and I still a little bit am, right? So, these fucking pieces of shit, they just got me out of class. Go talk to the principal. We're gonna send a letter to your parents because you disobeyed our orders. Fucking Nazis, man. Fucking, there's now no other name to give them, man. Fucking Nazis. That's it. So yeah, let's go to more serious things. Let's do okay, and this this is our atom. Behold, Jesus. Oh no, this is an atom. Oh, this is an angel. No, this is an atom. Yeah, an atom, and it's real. It exists too. Okay. what are they trying to tell you about the atom? The atom is a basic particle of matter that is made out of electrons and protons, right? A group of atoms joined together is called a molecule. An atom has no size and no dimensions. We're talking, it's most of it's empty space. That's what they're trying to tell you. And today it's today changed into probability equations and whatever, but it's no size and no dimensions. I thought you were teaching me physics here. I thought it was physics, you know, physics, objects, right? We have like fucking objects, right? In physics they have shape, they have size, they are 3D. But I go into the physics class and they tell me an atom has no size and no dimension. But I'm fucking learning physics, the science of objects. Where is the object? An object has size and a dimension, right? At least shape and size, at least, right? No, it doesn't have it. No, an atom, no size, no dimension. The table of the table of elements is ke. I said like ke in Hebrew, like yeah in Hebrew. The table of elements is built from a list of unique atoms to each element, right? That's what they're telling you. These are elements. The whole table of elements, these are elements. You cannot divide them anymore, whatever. Today, the model of the atom has changed at least 3 times since the picture above, okay? This is what I talked about. They changed it into probability waves and whatever. And the electrons determine whether the substance connects to another substance or reacts to it. They have covalent belts or something. I don't remember exactly how it's named in English. Valent belts or whatever, and they say to you that there's a number of them, a number of rings around the atom itself, and this is the paths of the electrons. And if the first belt should have 2 electrons, the second belt should have whatever 8 or something, or 6, 4. I don't remember exactly. Learned this a long time ago, and it didn't do nothing for me. Okay, so this is what they claim, and we're gonna talk about this today. The atom is like Jesus or the Messiah, right? It's designed to explain inexplicable phenomena and to replace the need for mechanical and physical explanation. Okay, for example, when asking what is electricity, hey teacher, what is electricity, right? And how does it flow through metal or whatever, through salty water, right? How does electricity flow? What the hell is happening there, right? Because something is flowing, right? Something goes from here to here, and we can prove it. We can demonstrate it pretty fucking well. Okay, so what is electricity? They will tell you that it is a flow of electrons from atom to atom, right? Because the material is atoms to atoms, just connected, right? So connected to each other, and they're just passing their electrons. It's a flow of electrons in the atoms. Okay, it's a flow of these little balls right here. I don't mean my ball. Shut the fuck up. I don't mean my balls, but I need my stick, and everything's dark and I can't see shit. Well, I'm on edge today, so I'm just gonna skip the part when I need my where I found my fucking stick, cause I'm really fucking mad today. Okay. So right, so they tell you the electrons flow from atom to atom, while they don't have any physical mechanical explanation for how does it flow, what pushes it, what fucking happens there, right? Where's the particle? No size, no dimension, right? No shape, no size. And what drives those electrons, right? What moves them? To the same extent, it is possible to say that Jesus or the Messiah or an angel came and pushed the electricity from one end of the whatever electric circuit to the other. Right? This is exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. They don't have any mechanical, physical explanation for how electricity flows through matter. But they just tell you, oh, there's an angel. An angel came and it moved the electrons, whatever. It's exactly the same explanation. There's nothing physical, nothing mechanical about it. You should make a movie about it. You can make a cartoon about it, okay? How does it work mechanically, right? How does it work? I'm pushing this plate right here, right? How do I push? How am I pushing this plate? How am I pushing it? Right? Because my hand touches this and then it moves, right? This is mechanical, understandable physics that we're talking about. Objective mechanical physics with fucking objects. The science of fucking objects. And they're just telling you, no, it just moves. It just moves. What moves? The plate. What plate? No plate. I can't see nothing. You can't prove nothing. So this example is actually good, right? But in their example, they don't even have the plate. Get that? They don't have the plate. They only have the smell of fish, right? Which is the effect of electricity in this example, whatever. I'm hoping you are still with me here. So what are they trying to tell you? There are several organizations of various agent Smiths who want to convince you that they managed to photograph an atom, right? There's a lot of those fucking. And why do I call them Agent Smiths? Agent Smith, because they're basically Agent Smith. If you ever watch the Matrix movie, you just go around and you say to somebody, hey, you know, for example, hey, you know that water is an element of its own. It's not actually oxygen and hydrogen. There's no way of fucking proving it. Okay, they have no proof for it, right? And the person, no matter who it is, if he learned that in school, he's gonna go protect the system. Water is oxygen and hydrogen. This is exactly what happens to these people. They're not critical thinkers. They are parrots from fucking school, right? Rock. Answer number 3. Rock. This is them basically. So they wanted to convince you they photograph an atom. The problem with these photographs is that they are not photographs but pictures, okay? Another trick to convince you. Picture, photograph, I hope everybody knows the difference. If you need to think about the difference, just pause and think about the difference for a second, okay? Many of them are images of simulation software that inserted a hypothesis in the form of numbers into the software, right? And it produced an image of an atom. That's one method. And then you have geniuses who move tiny particles of a certain substance, photograph it, and claim that these are opaque. What? That these are atoms, whatever. And other tricks such as photographing a man-made substance from a certain factory or for a certain with a certain design and seeing it as basic particles. What I mean here? I mean they take like I don't know, some form of, I don't know, iron or whatever. I don't remember what it is exactly. Don't put me on the stake here, and put me on the chair. And they basically take some substance that you make in a factory, right? What is a factory? It's a machine. It does it with a certain, you know, direction, with a certain order, right, of things. So they cut it into a thin slice, you know, of material, and then they film it, and then you can see some, you know, some material, bricks of the material, basically, because it's a factory made fucking substance, right? Why would you do it with an apple, right? So they can't do it with an apple. They can only do it with the certain material that came from a factory, that you can see these building blocks in if you just film it, you know, that thin little slice, and you see little fucking dots of matter, whatever, and they say, oh, these are atoms. These are not fucking atoms. This is a factory made substance, specific substance that you made right here. Please do it with an apple. Please do it with a piece of paper. I want to see how much atoms you can see there. Okay, they can't. This is a contrived fucking demonstration. That's the point I'm trying to make here. And a lot of their demonstrations are contrived. They only work in specific condition. You can't test anything else in it, right? Excuse me for my dog barking. I hope somebody's gonna shut him up, please. So yeah, if there's a picture, and another point here, if there's a picture of an atom, okay, where's a picture of a molecule? If you filmed atoms, why won't you film a molecule, right? Where's that? Not existent. What is this? This is the periodic. Okay. Oh, yeah. The periodic table of elements. Right, let's get into it. I don't have my stick. I'm really mad. I want to end this right now. I want to end everybody and everything. The table of elements is divided by atomic weight, right? We have like, is this? No, it's not upside. Okay, so we have hydrogen, we have helium, which is like the lightest substance, and then we have heavier substances and heavier, and then like the right. My brain isn't working today. The rightest bottom corner. God fucking damn it, is the fucking heaviest material of them all here. Okay, element of them all. These are not elements, these are products. That's what I want to tell you here today. I want to show you this today. I want to explain this to you today. Okay? These are divided by atomic weight. And me, personally, when I got into physics and chemistry class, the first time I saw this, it's the first time we learned this, I was like, shit, they found the formula. They found the one, right? The truth is one. It's everywhere. It's simple. It's always under our noses, right? So shit, they found the one. They found the formula. This has 1 atomic weight. That has 2 atomic weight. This 3, 4, 5, 6. We have found the formula, guys. That's it. This is the elements of the world, right? Of this reality. But shit, it's just weight. It turns out it's just weight. There's no atoms, no nothing. There's just weight. And what is weight? It's a concept. If you can remember, it's a concept. We don't know what is weight. We can feel weight. We can compare weight to another weight. This is exactly what they did here with the atomic weight. We can compare weight to another weight, but we can't know what is weight. What is the mechanism behind it? So weight is a concept. Okay, you should realize that, scientist. Weight is a concept. The thinkers, my fellow free thinkers, weight is a concept that we have no idea what is the physical mechanism behind it. This weight is not based on atoms, but simple comparison of weight. Okay, so yeah, this is the first thing I wanna tell you about this table, about the periodic table of elements. Today I also want you to understand that this is not a table of elements, but a table of human products. Okay, these are products. These are products that some nerd made in his lab, and then he put it on here, and then he got a Nobel Prize. He convinced all the rich folks, oh, look at this, I have an element here. This is an element. I extracted it from all of these materials that I baked together, and this is an element right now, right? I made this iron, this shiny fucking piece of metal. This is an element, right? This is what they're gonna tell you, and the rich people clap, and then they give them their fucking cha-ching, right? Their fucking cash, and their Nobel Prizes and shit, and that's it. This is a clown charlatan table of products, not elements, products of rich people. Please give me fundings for my lab and a Nobel Prize, please. Okay, for me being a lying clown charlatan. Okay, but at least I invented the product, right? So yeah, so since let me tell you this. Since the beginning of time, I can't put this shit. Since the beginning of time of history, we have taken a certain soil, right? We mixed it with another substance, water and coal and heat. Put it heat is not a substance, but you get what I'm saying. Put it in the fire, and hard stones come out of it. Okay, hard stones, hard metal come up from these things, right? Even without the metal, right? We made it with clay, right? With the bricks, whatever. So different soils and different mixes give you different results, just like in the kitchen, right? Just like in when you're baking a cake, you mix all these ingredients, and eventually it becomes a cake. It's not eggs, milk, and honey anymore, right? Or whatever, a cream. or anymore, right? It's a different material, it's a different thing, right? So this is exactly what we did with earth, basically, with stones. And then, oh, look at this is a reddish earth, and we mix it with coal with a lot of heat, and then we got like little pebbles of iron, right? Do you understand why this is a product? Are you starting to understand? Because I'm gonna explain it to you even better. So it gives us, thus we came to metals, right? From the clay and whatever, we came to metals. For example, iron is a type of reddish brown earth that we mix. I already explained that. I don't need to really do this twice. Same as copper and more, right? Copper, it's the same process, but we use another soil with coal, right? We use another soil and some silica and whatever. We have silica in there today. Those metals are not found in nature. Okay, these metals are not found in nature unless someone prepared and put them there. Okay, contrary to what they are trying to tell you, these are not elements. You're not gonna find this naturally in the earth, right? But this is what they want to tell you. They want to tell you that you just dig for gold and then you just find gold in the middle of this rock. Doesn't work like that. Gold has a standard. Gold has a standard from a few number of a couple of factories that only they can make gold, certify gold, and they are hiding the process. All right, and they're not making it from good. They're not finding gold. And if you find gold, it's called fool's gold because it's not really gold, right? And you can't sell it to anybody, and you don't know the secret formula, okay? And if you ask me, gold is the first Bitcoin. It's one of the first Bitcoins, okay? This is one of the first Ponzi schemes or pyramid schemes on any fucking material, because gold isn't worth more than anything else. In reality, we have materials that break apart longer, that decompose like for longer periods. We have materials that give you less resistance when you pass electricity through it, right? I'm fucking mad today, man. I really didn't need to do this fucking episode, but I'm fucking doing it, man. So yeah, I don't know where was I. I don't fucking know where was I, man. I'm really messed up today. I'm so sorry about that. So yeah, these are fucking products, okay? That's it. I don't have any fucking more shit to add. How can it be demonstrated that iron, for example, is not an element but a cake made from different materials? It is possible to break down these materials, these metals, in a relatively simple procedure called electrolysis, right? So in this procedure, the irons are put into a solution. We will see this exact thing in a couple of minutes. The iron is put the blah, blah, blah. Are you fucking crazy, man? I need to use my mouse for this, man. I fucking hate computers, man. I hate computers. I hate cameras. I hate robots, man. I fucking wanna spit in their motherboard sometimes. That's what I wanna do. I fucking hate them all. So it is possible to break these metals down in electrolysis. In this procedure, the irons are put into a solution with water and an electrically conductive material, okay, ionic material, a salt, whatever flows electricity through it, whatever is a good conductor, yeah, that's of electricity. That's they call it ions, ionic substance, bro. It's just something that conveys electricity better than other substances. So two rods of the same metal and an electric current is passed through them, right? One is the cathode, one is the anode, and the minus the plus. And what happens is that this procedure accelerates the natural decomposition of the metals that will occur in that water anyways, right? So this is just a speed up for that decomposition process. And you see the iron, for example, if you put the iron there, decompose back to rust and coal, which is exactly what it's made out from, right? The materials that this cake is made out of, that they make. So why is iron an element, or copper for that instance, right? Why are those elements? Exactly. Why are they, if they decompose to this, to coal, and they want to sell to you, they want to tell you that the coal, okay, it's a I don't remember how it's called in English, kill me. It's a reduction agent, right? Reducing agent. A reducing agent, what do you mean by that? They mean it takes the oxygen from the oxygenated metal, which is rust, right? They call rust metal with oxygen in it. So the coal takes away the oxygen from it, right? And the coal takes away the oxygen from it, and then it leaves you with this extracted element, which they call iron. But why is this element breaks down back into coal and rust? That's my fucking question here. And copper and whatever metal it is. It breaks down into aluminum. It breaks down into borax, which is the white whatever thingy that they make the aluminum from, and whatever else materials they put in there. So why are those elements? Why are these elements? Can you explain to me this? Because we're teaching children this every fucking day. Okay, so yeah, so basically, yeah, that's the explanation. I think I covered this shit good enough. Many of the materials found at this table are products of the same material, okay? Only with the addition of another ingredient or procedure in its production. I mean, they took iron and they put it through another process with another thing, and then that iron turned into something else, iron with something, and they call it something, another element, and they put it here. Like platinum metals, which is, we're gonna talk about the group of platinum metals, right? So they are bunched in together because they have the same process, basically. Not because any atomic weights, or not because we found the one formula that, you know, none of that, okay? Let me have some fish. I'm not even fucking hungry. I'm so mad. I'm not even you know, that's you're those days you're so fucking mad. You're not even fucking hungry. It took me an hour and a half just to make everything here work, and the sound great and whatever. Oh, great. One of my fucking lamps turned off. What else, God? What else? What tests? What else shit tests you gonna put me through, right? Fuck this world, man. Only with the addition of another. Okay, so many of the materials found at this table are a product of the same material, only with the addition of another ingredient or procedure in its production, and therefore the material that comes out is heavier and approximately in the same place on this table. For example, the basis of the procedure for the production of platinum metals is the same at the beginning, which is gold, silver, platinum, palladium, platinum, right? So, and therefore they are in the same position on the table. This table is not built in its order because that is how it is in nature, okay? This table is built in this order because these are human products and not natural elements, all right? A person who thinks he is above nature, our scientist, an idiot in deep denial, who looks down on everything, does science exact in the opposite way, which is it's supposed to be. You need to look up. You need to start from the bottom up, but they are looking from everything from the above. They are trying to convince you that they know everything. No, we knew that's gonna happen, right? So yeah, oxygen. Let's talk about oxygen. Oxygen is an element, right? It's in the air. It's 20%, 21%. Oxygen is in the air as a particle of the air, right? As an element, particle of the air, 21%. You breathe oxygen and waste it, right? It goes into your blood. The oxygen, which is supposed to be minus 200 degrees Celsius to be a liquid or whatever, but okay, a gas goes into your liquid blood just like that, just when you breathe, you know. That's exactly what I'm feeling. you can split the oxygen from the rest of the air particles, right? Because air is like 78% nitrogen and 21% that, and then there's like they claim there's argon and helium and whatever in there, right? So they claim that they can split the oxygen from the rest of the air particles, right? Oxygen is the reason things oxidize. Iron oxidizes, right? Because there's oxygen in the air. There's oxygen in the water, so it mixes with the pure elemental iron, right? And turns it back into rust. And coal. And by the way, if you nah, it's too deep to go into right now. But I don't, if anybody understands here, and if anybody knows this effect here, when you heat up an oxide, a metal, okay, when you heat up iron oxide, rust, when you heat up rust with hydrogen in it, whatever hydrogen is, we're gonna talk about it later. If you heat up hydrogen with that material, that rust will turn back into a metal, which is supposed to give you further evidence that the coal gives something to that rust to turn it metallic, not the other way around. That the rust gives something to the coal. The coal is a reducing agent, right? And then it leaves a pure element. That's another example. Okay, so not to start talking about global warming or something else that they are trying to sell you through this belief of what? A belief of fucking oxygen. And now we will watch a video, and I will have a fucking break from yelling into the fucking microphone. Okay, excuse me for my crankiness today. Oh, I'm cranky and I know. What? Whoa. What? I'm cranky and I know it. Where the fuck are the videos? I thought I left it here. Okay, I didn't, but I'm gonna do it now anyways. And this is the video. Wait, stop. Oh. This is the first half of Peter and Pete. They are so handsome. I watch them on repeat. I'm too mad for this. Excuse me. I want this to be a fun time for us all, but I can't. So okay, this is the first half of Peter and Pete. They are two twins, basically. Two handsome twins. Best relationship, a best example for a true what a true relationship should be. A true tribal family, whatever relationship you want to put there, is supposed to be based on. Okay, same principles that the two people are having, and you know what I'm saying. So let's listen to them. Yeah, they're gonna explain it all basically. Give me a break.
In our opinion, anyway. Now, we've been doing our YouTube channel for about 5 years now, and we've kind of moved away from flat Earth. You know, we reached a point where, you know, we don't need to debate flat Earth. We know the Earth is flat. It's an Earth plane. Okay, and we wanted to find out more about the natural environment we actually interact with on a day-to-day basis. So we moved into chemistry, we moved into that area, and we had a look at the basic claims that science makes with regard to, say, water being H2O. Now, we've come to the conclusion that water is an element. Water is not H2O. It cannot be proved to be H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. We've also put forward the view that air is just air. Air does not have constituents of 21% oxygen.
This is actually, sorry for missing this, but this is for all the free thinkers here and all the people who like to think. And this is exactly relating to the point I made earlier, that I want you to see how the nature of matter works. That this world is way more simpler than we think. Okay, so remember this phrase and think about it personally in your free time, please. Air is dry water, or if you want, water is wet air. It's not oxygen, it's not nothing. It's the same fucking element, just another form of it. Another pressure for whatever you want, dry form. Water is air, it's the same element. Different forms. Think about it. It's not oxygen and hydrogen. It's an element. It's not a chemical compound. It's an element. Water. And air. Air is not 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, whatever, argon, helium. It's just air, unless you put something in the air, right? And then it flows out, and you know, germs do their thing, and nature does their thing, and then it's fucking gone. Okay, so air is just fucking air unless you put something in that air. Please continue.
78% nitrogen, 1% argon, and etc. etc. It is our opinion that air is just dry water, yeah, and water and air share a very close affinity with one another. So with that in mind, one of the reasons why we think that oxygen is not a constituent of air is simply the fact that oxygen is a manufactured processed gas. You have to process the air, okay, do something with it, okay, and then produce your oxygen. Without that processing, you can't have oxygen. You can't make oxygen. You'll never have oxygen. So we use, or they use, mainstream uses machines like this. Now this is an oxygen concentrator. It's widely used for people who have respiratory problems, breathing problems, also people who use HHO torches, and they need an oxygen supply just to boost up the temperature of the flame. Now they will tell you how this works is in line with their understanding or their idea of oxygen being in the air. Okay, so how this machine works is that the airstream goes into the machine splits the airstream into oxygen and nitrogen. We have oxygen exiting the hose here, obviously going to the patient or to the flame, and out of the exhaust port here, okay, out of the exhaust port here, the exhaust muffler, we would there would be nitrogen. Okay, so it's very simple how this machine works. Okay.
By the way, I'm so sorry about this is the best I can get this TV looking on this camera. If I look at it with my eyes, it looks super dark and super underexposed, and no brightness, no whatever. When you see the original video is really good. You can see their skin color and whatever. I try to fucking color, you know, color correct everything, and what I put a color wheel on it, you know, and I try to play with every fucking setting available to me on this TV, and unfortunately I can't get it. This is the best picture we're gonna get, okay? Red skin and super exposed whites, okay? So this is the best I'm gonna get it with this TV. We're gonna change this whole fucking setup one day, hopefully, and I'm gonna move out of this fucking god-forsaken place.
We'll just have a quick run through, very quickly, how it works. Air comes in, okay, you've obviously got the foam filter there. It goes down through to the front of the machine, into a very small reservoir tank. It goes down this tube here, okay, which then passes into the back cavity and into the compressor. The air is then compressed. It then leaves the compressor through this white tube, which then enters the four-way valve. The air in the four-way valve then goes into one cylinder.
So the air goes into a compressor, firstly, okay? Compressor.
Molecular sieve bed, okay? These beds, you've got one on either side, and each is filled with a molecular sieve. Desiccant 13x, maybe aluminium oxide. I did read that aluminium oxide is a molecular sieve material.
So with simple logic, they're trying to explain to you that this machine, it takes air, just takes regular air, it compresses it, and then it dries the air. All right, remember this.
Okay, and essentially what this stuff does is that it traps in the nitrogen and allows the oxygen to pass through.
Now this is what the science world is gonna tell you, that this material is the molecular sieve. It stops the nitrogen and lets the oxygen through, right? This is what they want to tell you. What we want to tell you, what they want to tell you, and me these days, now, right here, that this is just a compressor that dries the air. This machine compresses, okay, the air. It condenses it, okay, and dries the air. Remember these two things. Please remember.
To then go out of these tubes and be delivered through the hose and out the end. Easy, isn't it? Okay, and then the nitrogen on a certain pressure swing, okay, and valve opening.
Pressure swing. Okay, so in a bigger factory, in a pro oxygen factory, they not only that they freeze dry the air, which is better, and whatever, they make better oxygen. They also use pressure swing absorption, right? Absorption, whatever, and they basically take two tanks, right? One of them is filled with whatever material they want to claim that traps the nitrogen and lets the oxygen, whatever. So it's filled with whatever pallets of that material. And what do they do? They're pressurizing one tank while vacuuming the other, right? So this tank is pressurized with air, and this one is in a vacuum, right? And then they release the valve and they basically compress it even more, and you can, basically they compress it even more. That's the fucking point. And let's continue here.
You'll get your nitrogen. You'll get your nitrogen being released from the exhaust muffler. Now that's how people will tell you how this machine works. When we look at the manual, read the manual, go online.
I just noticed, but it looks like I'm eating cigarette butts, right? It's like I smoke here, and I just I put my ashes in here, right? This is an ashtray, and just imagine it's an ashtray. Just imagine it's an ashtray. Okay?
Look at pressure swing absorption. They will tell you that that's how these machines work for oxygen generation. Okay, nitrogen generation is exactly the same, apart from they use a different material within these sieve beds. So, you know, there we go. Now, one of
I smell something fishy.
the ways that we can show that science has got it wrong with the constituents of the air is simply to use a machine like this. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to show everyone that we're producing oxygen. And then what we're going to do, we're going to test the gas that comes out of this exhaust muffler to see if it's in fact nitrogen. Okay, because that's what it should be. We're told that nitrogen, 21% oxygen in the air, 78% nitrogen, yeah? And this machine splits the oxygen from the nitrogen. Oxygen from this hose, nitrogen from there. Okay, this is the only way out of the machine. Okay, and these are the only two outlets. Okay. So let's switch the machine on and let's get going. Okay, so there we go. I may have to speak loudly because of the machine could be quite loud. We've taken off the covers. So there we go. So it's just winding up. We've got the green light which tells us our molecular sieve beds are okay, and our O2 production is given the green light. So we'll just let it run for a while. And the only thing I would like to point out to everyone is the exhaust muffler, or the air streams that come out of the exhaust muffler. Now I can demonstrate what they're like, but just by using a piece of tissue. So let's just turn that around. And
so this is the hole where the nitrogen should come out, right? Pure nitrogen.
You can see.
You know what nitrogen is, right? For all the people who never did or whatever, because a lot of people, they don't even like I go out to to parties, bars, whatever. People invite me to shit, right? So a lot of people, they don't even know what they're trying to tell you here. What are they? They don't even know the whole atom theory and all the whole protons and electrons and how they claim that they connect to each other and whatever, right? So they don't even know that, right? A lot of people. So this is for the people that don't know anything about chemistry. Nitrogen is a heavy gas. A heavy gas, okay? If you ever saw a demonstration of like stairs with a candle at the bottom, right? And then somebody pours nitrogen on the top step, right? And then it pours down and just takes out the fucking fire, right? Just immediately takes out the fucking fire, right? So this is nitrogen. It's a heavy gas. It's really heavy, and it cannot support a flame.
So there's a gentle outlet of gas, and then you get a big poof. Okay, so you get a gentle gas stream coming out. Then the tissue paper will move towards the exhaust muffler, and then poof. Yeah. Okay. So we would imagine that the large poof is where the nitrogen comes out. That's the nitrogen. So let's turn it around. There we go. Well, it's a lovely machine, but you know. Now we're going to just show to everyone that we are producing oxygen. The classic test for oxygen is relighting this glowing splint, or relighting a glowing splint. So here we go. Let's get it going. Here we go. Right, are we ready? So let's go. Oh, there we go.
So this is the classic, whoever doesn't know chemistry and whatever, the classic test for oxygen is relighting a glowing splint, right? A glowing piece of charcoal, a red glowing piece of charcoal, okay? That is not hot enough to combust in regular air, right? So remember what we talked about like a couple of minutes ago. I told you to remember that what this machine does, it compresses the air and dries it out. What does heat like? What does fire like? What does it love? Are you starting to get this, right? Fire loves dried, and fire loves air. So why do we give that fire, that heat? We give it dry, condensed air, right? Right? This is why the splint relights. By the way, can we produce another gas that gives us the same effect as this, that can relight a glowing splint? We can, but this is the test for oxygen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I'm trying to say here, we're really limited with our senses and our science. We are really limited here. Okay, this isn't proof for anything. And they are teaching your children this fucking shit in class and telling you, no, this is how it is. You better pass the fucking test or we're gonna convince your parents to fucking slap your ass. So, heat, condensed dry air. Voila. No atoms, no molecules, no fucking 8 hours a day for a fucking 300 days in a fucking year, right? No nothing. It's just fire likes dry stuff and air, and we condensed the air and dried it, and this is why we have combustible wood again, right? From heat. The truth is one. And remember this, boys. The truth is one, okay? It's everywhere, it's simple, and it's always under our fucking noses. It's simple. It's just dry, compressed air. No molecules, no splitting the air. Blah, blah, blah. This is just air.
There we go. Great. Super. Let's do it again. Look at that. Brilliant. Yeah, got it. So we know we've got oxygen from this side. So oxygen from this side. Now let's see if we can get nitrogen. Okay. We'll pop that down there. So here, so all we'll do is we've had this glass jar, just in case anyone thinks we're cheating or whatever. But empty glass jar, open to the atmosphere. Okay, there's nothing inside. Okay, all I'm going to do is hold it up to the gas stream, the gas stream that goes poof, collect put the lid on, and then we'll see if the lit splint goes out. Nitrogen extinguishes the flame, doesn't support combustion. Okay, so we will know whether there's nitrogen there. So here we go. Let's get this ready. So next time, here we go, ready? After the large puff, we'll collect that. We'll collect that. There we go. I have to do that again. So let's just see.
And some people, in the comments of this video and other channels that other science channels that I try to, on Odyssey mainly, that I try to convey this information to, they basically, let's...
Okay. You ready? Now nitrogen, again, doesn't support combustion.
Before it does it, so they basically claim that that this experiment is not, it's not enough. This should be more scientific. I dare you to take fucking nitrogen from a can that they send you from the factory, right? So I dare you to take that nitrogen, put it in a jar, okay? Do a little puff in a jar like this, without any sealants or whatever, just like this, just a puff in that fucking jar, and then you put a lit splint in it to check if the lit splint goes out, and it will go out because nitrogen doesn't support a flame. It's heavy, and it just stays at the bottom of the jar. You don't need to duct tape the jar to the fucking exhaust to make it super scientific. Trust me, you don't need to. If this, what they are claiming is the nitrogen is coming, the pure nitrogen is coming from here, even if it's not pure, it will not support a flame. That's my fucking point here, okay? So this is for all the people. And you know what? If you want to be so fucking cool, why won't you fucking take this machine and do it for yourself with all of your duct taping and scientific standards, okay?
So the splint should go out. And it's not gone out. I would like to do that again. That didn't go out at all. Wait there. Okay, so we've had our last bit. There, okay. Again, nitrogen should extinguish the flame. Okay? Okay? And no way at all. Okay, can you see that? I don't think we need to do that again, do we? No. Now let's try and collect the gas stream that comes before that. Okay? And let's see whether that's nitrogen.
Is that scientific enough for you, skeptics?
I've got to do it, you know. So we'll just wait for the machine to... So we'll do it on the next one. Here we go. Ready? I think I got some. Now let's see if the splint goes out. I've got a new one here, so there we go. Okay, remember, splint, nitrogen should go. Now it does look as if it's glowing brighter.
Glowing brighter. Why is that? Why is it acting as though you're putting the lit splint into an oxygen-rich environment? How is that possible? This machine splits nitrogen from the air, from the oxygen, and this exhaust butthole thingy, filter butthole thingy, is supposed to give us nitrogen, a gas that doesn't support the flame at all, and we're getting a stronger flame. What does this tell to you, guys? Can you connect the dots here a little bit? Does this machine compresses and dries the air? Or does this machine splits elements in the air 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. Think about it.
I don't know whether anyone noticed that, but it did look as if the splint was glowing brighter. So let's I think that was, I don't know whether that was a good one or a bad one. There you go. The split does, the lit split does seem to be glowing brighter. I'll just blow in that just to extinguish or ensure that there's nothing in there apart from air. Okay. And we could do this gas stream here actually, could we not? So wait, let's wait for the, that was that last part, so here we go. Okay, there we go. We had a good one there. Remember, nitrogen extinguishes the flame. Okay? And that is glowing brighter, isn't it? Much, much brighter. And the flame's still lit.
What the fuck is happening?
So, what we're going to do, let's see if that gas stream can relight a glowing splint. Okay? Are you ready? Wait there, let's wait for the, after this one. Okay, there we go. Remember, if the glowing splint relights, we know we've got oxygen. Ready? Look at that. There we go. Yeah? Did we get that? What we've demonstrated there is that we're getting oxygen.
Again it happened. He actually did it twice. He relit a glowing split with what? With glowing splint with what? With oxygen, with the nitrogen, right? Supposedly. Bros, this machine, there is no oxygen. They're just compressing and drying the air, which is exactly what I can do with my shirt and this piece of fucking paper. They're just compressing the air and drying out, and heat loves that shit. That's it. It's all fucking simple. It's all fucking simple. It's not about molecules. And another thing I want to fucking tell to you. This is for all the fucking stupid people. Excuse me, but you're fucking dumb. That like, I don't know, you give them a conspiracy theory. You give them an idea or whatever, and they're gonna go like, oh, what do you mean? That all of the scientists that work on this machine and all of the scientists that believe in oxygen, are they all lying to us, Sonia? Are you crazy? Are they all in on this scheme? No, they're fucking not, you dumb shit. They're fucking not on this scheme. They just believe that this machine actually does what it does, what they tell them that it does. Why? Because they are parrots that are authority worshippers. Nothing more, nothing less. These are not scientists. These are not skeptical free thinkers that try shit in their home, just like these two fucking angels right here, okay? One of them, at least. So, yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? This is for all the people that are, like, I don't know, flat earth or whatever. Oh, you think all of them are lying? No, they're not. They're just coming to work, pressing a button, looking at numbers on the screen and going home, getting their paycheck, getting their taps on the head and their societal fucking privileges, right? That's all they're fucking doing. They're just going there and oxygen, this machine splits oxygen, right? That's all they're fucking doing. They don't need to be on the same lie. They don't need to know all of this. They just live in the matrix. They're just Agent Smiths, right? As I told before. And then you come to them one day and you say, hey, bro, you know that there's no proof for fucking oxygen. They can't prove oxygen. And actually we have demonstrations that show us that this is all fucking bullshit and air is just an element of its own. And they're like, no, bruh, I'm gonna turn into Agent Smith right now. The system is correct. You cannot fight the the authority or whatever, man. They're fucking Agent Smiths, parrots, charlatans, clowns, man. They come in all sorts of forms and whatever, but they are not scientists. They are not critical thinking, science-loving people, okay? They are not. And they are not in the lie with everyone else and it's cahoots with each other. No, bro. No. They're just fucking dumb. As I was until I met this fucking channel and other fucking, I started with physics actually, but this is more like chemistry. But until I found out that shit, I was an Agent Smith too. I was just sitting there and, what? You don't believe in oxygen? I'm gonna, don't you Google oxygen? That was me, and that's you also. That's 99.9999999% of the fucking population, and it's fucking sad. What they did to our fucking brain, to our fucking skeptical scientific thinking, what they are doing to your children right now in schools with this, it's fucking monstrous. I don't have any other word for it. It's fucking monstrous, bro. It's monstrous. They are erasing your child's brain. Literally.
Even out of the exhaust, yeah, of an oxygen concentrator. We shouldn't be getting that. We should be getting nitrogen. Okay? Remember, we're told that nitrogen, we'll switch this off. Remember, we're told nitrogen 78% in the atmosphere, oxygen 21%. That splint should not have relit. That tells us that out of the port here, the exhaust muffler, we're getting oxygen. Now, in our understanding, that would make total sense, because what's going in is just air, and what's coming out of the machine is dry air, concentrated air. So we're even going to get concentrated air coming out of the exhaust muffler. That would make total sense. What this demonstrates to us is that there is not nitrogen in the air, 78%. There is not 21% oxygen in the air. What this demonstrates is that this is just an air concentrator, and it's not an oxygen concentrator.
Like, really think about it. All the people that can't think through. I'm sorry. Really think about it for a second, bro. The instruction manual on this machine tells you that this splits nitrogen from oxygen. The guys who built this machine splits nitrogen from oxygen. Everybody around this machine believes that it splits nitrogen from oxygen. And these two guys, they just tested it out and it's fucking bullshit. How about that? How about that? Think about what they did to our mind. Think about it. This is deep.
And it doesn't do what it's supposed to do.
Oh, not deep enough. Yeah, so, where were we? Oh, God. So this is when oxygen, right? Oxygen. So so usually people after this explanation, they usually go to again they worship the authority. They go to their safe spot where mama and papa knows everything and they're gonna tell us the truth, right? So they're gonna ask you, so wait, what does an oxygen machine on an oximeter and oxygen machines in the hospitals, right? What are they doing to fucking patients, right? So oxygen test and the oxygen machine in the hospital. The reason, okay, so let's start from the beginning. So you now understand that this is just dry compressed air, right? What are they doing to the patients? They're taking an oximeter, which is a meter for oxygen. It's not a meter for oxygen. Get out of your fucking stupid matrix. It's just a clips that measures how much light passes through your fucking finger to the sensor on the other side of this fucking clips. right? This clip, whatever you call it in English, right? So this is all it does. It just tests how. And I talked to a nurse, somebody who an Arab guy who studies to be a nurse and then a doctor and whatever. So at the time he was starting to be a nurse, and I was telling him that, and he fucking opened up so much. I'm glad about this person because he still has an open mind about it. But he just quit talking, man. He just, oh shit, that's what's happening there, huh? They're not measuring oxygen, they're measuring how much light passes through your fucking finger. Now this is the first thing. Second thing, your lungs are filled with water, filled, dripping wet. That's your lungs, and animal lungs, right? Dripping wet, this organ with fucking water, right? So what happens when you turn on the compressed and dry air machine into that patient's throat, right, into his gas exchange valve, right? So what happens when you do that? It dries him up. It dries the lungs up. So what does the body do naturally? If it dries something, the body takes the liquids out of your blood, out of your extremities, right, and puts it in your center, which is the lungs, which are now getting drier. Exactly the same thing happens when you eat, so it draws the blood more to your, to your stomach, around it, and whatever, right? So same logic goes here with the water in your body, right? So you're drying your fucking lungs out. Your body goes and brings water to those lungs from your extremities. Your extremities are connected to these clips that measures how much light goes in. And now that you are drier, right, maybe less light will pass. And then the doctor sees, the nurse, whatever, he sees the number on the screen that tells him the patient has whatever percent oxygen in his blood, which is not oxygen, it's just light that passes through. And you just made a software that conveys it with a formula to, it's fucking dumb, okay? It's fucking dumb. They're not measuring oxygen. Get out of your fucking metrics, right? Right, so they're basically, with the oximeters, they basically just test how dry your finger is at that moment. And the nurse looks at the number on the screen and says, oh, okay. It pulls out your fucking oxygen mask or whatever, oxygen tube out of your nose. And that's it, and you're done, and you're healed. You're not healed, you're still fucking sick. That's not the fucking cause of your problem, and most likely it's not even gonna help you. If you wanna read about the first expeditions to Mount Everest with oxygen tanks, they actually tell that this is worthless. It just dries you up more. And if you ever done scuba diving, right? What does the oxygen mask does to your fucking face? It dries it out. Why? Because it's compressed dry air. Nothing more and nothing less. Do you understand? Very simple understanding of the nature of matter. So another thing that a lot of materials they release oxygen, right, when they're heated, when they are heated or put in water, right, decomposed in some form. They release oxygen. They release this gas that relights a glowing splint. They release what? They release compressed dry air. The reason is that in these materials were heated in the open air, right? Oxidized, as they like to call it. They are heated in the open air, okay? These materials absorb things well and expand when heated, right? Like calcium oxide, for example. Calcium oxide, which is calcium, which they heated, really fucking heated until it's fucking red in the open air, until it's expanded, right? And then they cool it. So what do you do when you cool it? You compress and dry the air. The dry and compressed air that was in there already, it's getting more compressed. And now you compressed it into this for a little fragile material that can decompose in water. So you put calcium oxide in the water, and suddenly you have this crazy heat reaction and whatever, right? So this is an explanation for that. Another thing, do I have anything else to explain? Yeah, calcium oxide reacts violently in water. This is also the reason why calcium metal can decompose violently in water and other alkaline earth metals of various kinds. Okay, so yeah, so this could be a simple fucking explanation for this. No oxidation, no atoms, no molecules, no nothing. Okay, so carbon dioxide. What time is it? I think it's like 11 fucking o'clock or something. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a gas that you produce in your breath, right? It ruins the world. Carbon dioxide is in your breath. In your breath, extinguishes a flame, right? That's what they say, and destroy the world. Not to forget, yeah, the carbon dioxide destroys the world, right? Your breath destroys the world. Oh, just you wait. One day you're gonna pay for your fucking air. Right? Because we have global catastrophes with oxygen and nitrogen and carbon dioxide, right? Plants breathe carbon dioxide and turn it into oxygen. That's what they want to claim. Photosynthesis and whatever. I'm not gonna go into this too much here. If you want, just go to their channel and please learn for this. Just go to their channel and search photosynthesis, okay? And go watch for yourself if plants really produce oxygen from carbon dioxide, or if they even breathe in carbon dioxide. Okay, you should fucking teach yourself if you ever wondered about it, or if you have any suspicion about what I'm doing here or what they are doing there. Just go and learn, okay? First go and learn and try these things for yourself, bruh. Try these things. And a lot of other shit others are trying to sell you through this faith, right? Because it's a religion, it's a faith. You just believe it's there. Now we will watch oh yeah, okay. So let me fill you in with details. I'm sorry about this. One of the famous tests for carbon dioxide is to bubble the gas, okay, bubble your breath through lime water, okay, which is basically calcium carbonate or something, calcium oxide with water or something like that. It's calcium with chalk with water, basically lime water, which they claim turns cloudy in contact with carbon dioxide. So you blow through this lime water and it turns milky, turns cloudy. Okay, so and this is proof. Again, this is just a contrived fucking trick which the magician showed your kid and told him, you see, this is proof for carbon dioxide. This isn't proof. This is all a magic trick, and it's a fucking charlatan magician clown that's in your kid's classroom showing you how he cut the woman in half, and then your child goes and wait, how did you cut her in half? If you cut a person in half, he dies. How the fuck did that happen? And then what that motherfucker tells your children, your child, he tells him, I cut her in half. This is exactly what happened. Believe it or not, we're gonna have a test on it on Friday, right? So one of the famous tests is the lime water test. The problem here is that lime water becomes cloudy in contact with any salt. Any salt you put in lime water, it becomes cloudy and back to transparent with the addition of an acid, which strongly indicates that there are salts in your breath and not any gas made of coal and oxygen, okay? Carbon dioxide. Coal and oxygen, carbon dioxide, think about it, what are they trying to, right? And carbon, which is another fucking phantom element. They can't even show you carbon. What is carbon? Can you show me pure carbon? No, I can show you diamonds, I can show you coal. Is this carbon? No, it's not carbon, but it's an allotrope of carbon. They have no carbon, and especially not in gas form. All right. So yeah, now we'll watch another video. We have.
In other words, we have
3 videos. I don't want to, this presentation. I could really make this into fucking a 100-hour presentation, but believe me, people are complaining to me about the 3 hours I did with that presentation and 2.5 hours with that. Oh, please, can't you just put it in 10 seconds? Yeah. Morals, freedom, health, take care of yourself, stop being a fucking lazy fuck. End of the episode. Does that explain to you something? Do you know the effect of whatever you're shortening? You're making it more boring. Do you know that effect? Have you thought about it? Like, let's bring something you like from your life. Let's bring, I don't know, you like computer designing, okay? You like designing shit in Photoshop and whatever, blah, 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 right? Tell me in one word, what do? Paint. What the fuck does that mean? Does this mean something to you? I want this shit to mean something to people. And not just any people. People who know what meaning is. Who have willpower. Who have anger in them. That's the people I want this to hear. Okay? Those are the people I want to hear this. Okay? And yeah. Yeah, it's not for the people who are looking for the shortcuts and whatever. You can't shortcut this. This is a whole fucking shit thing they did, okay? You can't shortcut this. Like it or not. Like it or fucking not. You can't shortcut this. It's not good to shortcut other stuff. Other, you know, more shallow things than this information. Oh. Nope, no, and it just puts it on my screen. Why did it put it on my screen? I don't know. And now it's stuck. I'm afraid. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's here. I'm afraid that it's gonna stop my recording, or I don't know. I don't know what. Okay, play.
Give off CO2, and that CO2 is going to put out a flame. Absolutely. So what we did was that we devised a little experiment that we did. So
and again, this is not proof. You can't prove these things with how can I say? This is a good example for the bullshit they're trying to convey to you. Okay, a good example for why you should, you know, not believe these things. But this is not proof. I'm not showing you proof here. They are not showing you proof, but this is a good example, good evidence for that claim, right? So let's go. So don't you think that this is proof, okay? Don't you think you're smart because you can realize that this is not proof, because this isn't proof. Okay, to prove these things, nobody can prove oxygen. Nobody can prove oxygen. There's no test provable, undoubtedly piece of evidence that tells you that this is oxygen. Okay, there is no such thing, and exactly the same things go for carbon dioxide. So let's continue.
So what we'll do,
I hope you understand this.
I've put it together as a kind of like a small video, and we'll just narrate over it. Yeah, basically. Yeah. I think that'll be the best thing to do, and then we'll zoom in and out as and when. So as you can see, we've bought some supplies. Got some balloons, got some straws, and got a bit of hosing, clear plastic hosing. So there's the balloons. Party pack. Let's have a party. Yeah, New Year's party. Woo. Which we haven't used actually. We haven't used them. Yeah, absolutely. There's the hosing, 8mm hosing.
Oh, this is both of the twins, by the way. Let's have a round of applause. Superheroes, bro. Superheroes. These are like holy twins.
Or was it 6mm? 6mm. Oh no, don't worry. Now we've actually got some lime water, so we've got some calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide. What did I say? Peroxide, carbonate, calcium carbonate, which is the salt.
So they're being settled at the moment. They are. So there are 2 tubs of lime water. Now this is the most important part. This is our bong. Yeah, because what we thought was that in order to take the moisture out of your breath, the best way to do that would be to pass your breath through water. And that idea was given to us by IP, wasn't it? IP. So many thanks to Individual Perspective, because they asked us about, well, how does a bong work with all this? Absolutely. When we were talking about...
you know what I'm hot? You know why I am hot? Why I'm sweating? Because I have no fans.
Whatever. Gases dissolving in liquids. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But we got some filters to filter the lime water when it's doing. And this here, what we've done is this is like a a burn chamber where we put a candle inside, and we can blow through the hose into the chamber to put in CO2 or whatever gas we want to put in, you know. And so it's very simple. The setup is very, very simple indeed.
Yeah, very simple.
You know, you don't have to be a professor to do.
I hope you can see this, but again, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna link these videos in the description. You can watch it for yourself. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but and again, if you have any questions, if doubts, whatever, you wanna, I don't know, you wanna curse me, you wanna applaud me, whatever. There's an Instagram and a Facebook. Okay, it's posted everywhere on every video description I have. So go there and we will talk about it. We will explain it. We will get to the matter of things, you know. But please just learn something, okay? Please be willing. Yeah. If you really want this, right? If you are really interested in this, if you are think yourself as a big chemist or whatever, as a guy who knows stuff, or I don't know, if you like this stuff, please just connect to people, connect to groups. You can connect to their channel, you can go to their comment section. Yeah, don't close it up in yourself. This is one of our worst, weakest points in these days. Publicly, we are not connected, we are not united in nothing.
All this stuff.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
So simple.
And you don't need complicated pieces of apparatus.
I enjoyed the milk though as well. Absolutely. So we'll just continue. So what we're doing now, or what I'm doing now, is that
raw milk.
I'm blowing up a balloon, because I'm sure lots of people have blown up.
We've all blown up.
We've all blown up balloons.
But one thing you notice.
Is
that when you blow up a balloon.
Absolutely.
If you were to prove that there's moisture in your breath.
Absolutely.
To actually prove there's moisture in your breath, just like the Nikon story.
Absolutely, of course.
There's acids in your breath.
Absolutely.
Then, in theory, if there is moisture in your breath, if you blow up a balloon and cut it open, it should be moist inside, shouldn't it?
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm doing here.
By the way, for the free thinkers here, I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of food for thought here. Your lungs aren't actually your lungs can be. This is classical chemistry. Also, this is nothing new here. They didn't invent it. I didn't invent it. The people are studying this for hundreds of years, and speculated this that their lungs are actually your lungs are actually moisture control. Your blood moisture control device. Your organ that controls your blood moisture, right? Because my body can't just take any water I drink and just put it in my blood, right? So it could be an organ that is somehow related to the management of your of your moisture in your fucking blood, right? So with this in mind, and with knowing that air is water, is dry water, or water is wet air, right? It's the same element. We can now begin to explain why fish and us can breathe the same element, but like in different methods, right? Breathe, exchange gases, okay? You have acids, you have salts in your breath, and ammonia-based, Yeah, so let's just continue. I want to get through this.
Yeah, I blow the balloon.
I'm sure you want to get through this too.
Up about 3 times, and then I slice it open, or maybe 4 times. Maybe 4 times. 4 times, just to get as much, you know, because if our breaths are just no moisture in there, this would be dry inside, wouldn't it?
It would be dry.
So this is the last time. So I get the scissors and I slice it open. Look at that.
Oh right, yeah. Lucky that's not someone's
absolutely
body.
Looks like someone's bladder, doesn't it?
Oh right, yeah, it does.
Absolutely, I'd make a great surgeon.
There we go.
Now you can see that the inside of that is wet.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Is so wet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all of that moisture, which we understand to be an acid,
and that's just
acid based, is mixed in with the air
the gas.
Yeah, but also one thing.
Which is another thing. When you hold your breath, right, for too long, it starts to burn. Burn why? Because you need to exchange acids. You need fresh air. Fresh, free air. And I don't mean air that, this is another example I showed in the Hebrew episode. And I don't mean like air, like if this is air, if this is natural air, right? Let's take, for example, nitrogen, right? This is another thing that they pass through a molecular sieve. So, and they compress it in some sort of way, right? So, let's take this paper as an example for that air, right? If you, I can. This is the properties of this paper, right? I can write on it, right? It's flat. I can write on it. You know, it has you know, it has excuse my English. So you take that fucking gas and you compress it and whatever. And can I write on it right now? Can I write sentences on it? Is it the same after this process? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is what we're doing to the air, basically, when we're creating, for example, nitrogen, and then you try to breathe it and you can't breathe it. It's not breathable. Your body doesn't exchange nothing with it, and this is why. And again, my dog with his fucking shit.
Thing to note, and that is,
I mean, it's soaked, isn't it? It's soaked.
One day,
Isn't it?
you'll find that's just on the inside of the balloon. There's still moisture actually in the air that's in the balloon.
Yeah, absolutely. But when it came out, when it was deflated, yeah, of course, yeah. So there's that. So what we do now is that you, with your wonderful breathing techniques.
Oh, right, yeah. What we
now,
need to do is that we thought, well, because the whole purpose of this is to pass air through that pipe of your chamber, your burning chamber.
Yeah.
To see if the candle
will... Well, what we will need to do is find a way of getting a balloon to be filled up with air that is dry.
From your breath.
From your breath.
Yeah.
We need to exclude that as a factor that could affect the results. The test results.
Absolutely.
So what we do is we make up a very simple bong. So the pipe goes down to the bottom, and there's a pipe coming out of the handle which goes into a very short tube that has just cotton wool placed in, a filter over the top, and a tube coming out the end where the balloon is attached.
Yeah.
So the air will pass through the water, bubble out, fill up the upper chamber, come out the tube at the top, enter the cotton wool, and go through, pass through, and then into the balloon. It's very simple, very straightforward.
But I must add that you did blow into that prior, didn't you?
Yeah.
To clear the air.
Oh, just to take out any air that was in there, any wet air that was there.
Any room air that was in the bottom.
Absolutely, yeah, of course. So we do that for a while, and as you can see, the balloon's blowing up very well indeed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
absolutely.
And we actually do this. And you do this twice, is it?
I can't remember. I think 3 times. But one of the things that is important, I mean, we notice this, and that is when you look at the tube where you're blowing into. It got really moist around on the inside, didn't it?
It was condensating.
It was condensating on the inside. A lot of that moisture that we think is acid was collecting on the inside walls of that tube. Yeah. Whereas the tube the outlet tube coming out from the handle were very dry.
Yeah, it was very clear.
Very clear indeed. I mean, we'll show people this anyway. Got a bit of a blowback there. Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, they're drying the air, right? They're drying the air. They're filtering it through water, which is drying it, and a little bit filtering it if you have an acid in there, right? So, and then they pass it through a cotton ball that is in a tube, and the air that comes into the tube, it's really wet, right? It's moist. That you can see the condensation inside a tube, and the tube that goes out is really dry. Right, so they're drying the air basically for this experiment, for this demonstration right here.
So now, what we're going to do?
And they're collecting it in a balloon.
I think you're going to clear up your mess. Da-dee-dee. You might as well make a cup of tea.
Now, me personally, I would suggest I would suggest I'm gonna do this one day, anyways. I would suggest doing this you should recycle your breath into that balloon for at least 4 times, because like a lot of the science world, some sources say that you take all the oxygen from the air, and some sources say you take only 8% and 5%, whatever. Every source tells you something else, and the oxygen meter that they have, the thing you blow into, right to test your oxygen, that shit just tests electricity resistance between two metal rods. That's all it tests. It can be affected by moisture, by other fucking materials, right? But they say, you know, this machine measures the percentage of oxygen. So they take your breath, they measure your breath after you have breathed in the air, and it measures, and it gives them a smaller number, which isn't a proof for anything. It's just a proof for less conductivity in that gas. That's it. That's all it does. Less resistance, right? So or more resistance, whatever it's specifically in that oxygen meter, but it's not testing for the oxygen itself. And I would suggest doing this, breathing in the balloon 4 times, for all the people that are still skeptical about still want to believe and cling to that oxygen theory, right? Elemental air we having.
I might as well.
You can make me a cup of tea, can you? I mean, it's not long, but it's a very interesting video when you think about it.
Because all we're demonstrating
really is the power of
is whether or not
individual thought.
Is whether or not that moisture, those acids in your breath, do actually have an impact on the test results for CO2.
Absolutely, of course, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing there. What are you doing there?
I don't know.
You've disappeared. Oh, because we record using your tablet as well as the... Deflate the balloon.
I'm going to skip it.
Okay.
Because we actually do it a couple of times, because you blew the balloon up.
Yeah.
In your mouth a couple of times.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it this way a couple of times.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did it first because I blew it up about 3-4 times. So we thought, well, we can't just blow it up once. We need to blow it up the same number of times, roughly.
Yeah,
don't we?
basically. But it's
Just 2, and we're on our last pipe. Tailed air.
Yeah, basically.
Or now you get water. I mean, it's ridiculous to ever think that gas dissolves in water. I mean, you know, it's crazy, you know. So you go and get the tablet. I'm deflating the balloon, and then what we do is we actually I cut open the balloon to show to people, or to show to myself even, whether there's moisture inside it.
Yeah, basically, because
if we've eliminated,
absolutely,
and I feel like having a little sweetie there. Look. Would you like a sweetie?
No.
Well, there we go.
There we go. Look at that.
Now that is dry as a bone.
Bone dry.
The inside of that balloon is dry as a bone. So essentially, what that proves is that the air that you breathe out is moist, contains a moisture.
Absolutely.
We think that moisture is an acid.
Yeah, and it plays a part in these tests, fraudulent tests.
These fraudulent tests for CO2. Absolutely. Yeah. Now you can see that I think you had a bit of blowback last time.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, which ruined the didgeridoo. So you're looking at the handle there. I mean the pipe there. Now you're blowing into that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just to show, so we can see how misted up that the inlet pipe gets, and you can see that it's very fogged up. Because
fogged up.
We have successfully.
That's fogged up, man.
Eliminated
a variable.
Okay. Advise people get a cup of tea while they're watching. Breath.
So okay, so here they put a lit candle in a plastic bottle, okay, a plastic container with a straw that's going to the bottom of that container, so they can blow into that straw gently, right, and fill the. Now carbon dioxide is a heavy air. Again, you can go and look for examples on the internet where they take steps, right, exactly like I explained with the nitrogen. And they pour carbon dioxide, which is just a acid salt based gas, pressure system, whatever. If you want to learn more about it, go to their channel and write carbon dioxide, okay, and learn about it. Look at the tests, look at what they're doing, and you know, get with the times, man. So they're putting it in a plastic container, and they're gonna blow gently in that container so that the fire, right, the gas is gonna rise up slowly because carbon dioxide is heavy, right? It's gonna push out all the oxygen and all other stuff that are lighter than it, right? And it's gonna fill it up with this heavy carbon dioxide shit that does not support a flame, and when it reaches the flame will go out, right? And this is what we have.
Our breath can put out
a flame.
Yeah, well, could I say deoxygenate a flame? Take away the air?
Put out a flame.
Or get rid of the variable from the fire triangle. Take the air away.
Oh, right, impossible.
So you can't have a fire or a flame. So I breathe gently, blow gently. You can see that pipe.
You see that pipe condensating.
Condensating an awful lot. Or the acid that's lining the inside of the tube.
Yeah.
I'm blowing gently, and you can see that the flame...
It's gone out.
No, there, it's gone out.
Yeah.
There's the smoke. It's gone out.
Okay.
It wasn't blowing hard, but it went out. Simple as that. I'll do it again. Or do I? How many times do I do it? 3 times?
Twice.
Twice? Absolutely, of course. Of course, yeah, dear boy.
Yeah, you've got to do these a number of times because people can do this at home.
Absolutely.
And get the same results.
This is the beauty about doing this kind of stuff, and people can do it at home.
Especially when all it involves is a flame.
Absolutely, of course. Small little candle.
Because we're led to believe, or we're led to think, that we exhale CO2.
So it's gone out.
So that CO2 is going into that chamber, and it's heavier than air, so it will sit where that candle is.
Yeah,
and it will put out the flame.
Yeah, we're told that CO2 is a very dense gas. It's very heavy. So if we do breathe out CO2, the CO2 gas would fill the bottom of that chamber and rise up and basically smother that flame and put it out. This is what science would have us think is happening here.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is what science would tell us is happening here.
But you and me...
I blow into the chamber through the tube, the CO2 rises up, goes over the top of the candle, over the wax, and starts smothering that flame so it can't get the oxygen in the air. And it goes out.
Yeah, that's what there's...
Whereas you and I both think that's bollocks.
Yeah, you and I both think that it's those acids in your breath...
It's the acids in your breath...
that are denser in the air...
Well, obviously...
that will fall to the bottom of that chamber. And it's those...
Well, it's those acids in our breath that basically starve that flame of air.
Yeah.
So it goes out.
Yeah, basically.
That's essentially what's going on. So what we do now is that we're going back to our bong and we're actually going to blow up a balloon. Okay. So we've got demoisturized air inside the balloon, and we'll feed that air from the balloon.
I had to be in a voice chat in some group that I'm supposed to be in a voice chat right now, but I'm 2 minutes late, so excuse-moi for using my phone.
Into the flame.
Into the candle.
Yeah.
And see what happens to
really unprofessional.
The flame. Because if that is CO2 in that balloon, okay, the flame should go out.
Absolutely.
This is the logic or the understanding that we have. If there's CO2 in that balloon, the flame...
Hold my hair, I wanna puke!
...will go out. Okay, it's simple as that. It's not difficult to understand. So I've speeded this up because it's a bit of a long drawn out process. There we go.
Wipe my sweat on my shorts.
I think we've done.
Welcome to Israel.
There we go.
Welcome to the Middle East. Wiping your sweat on your shorts.com.
There we go. And what I have done, just so everyone's aware of this, and we do this twice actually, but on the second time I've actually included.
You can actually use a falafel to wipe your sweat. That's what the napkin they give you with every falafel, bro. You think it's for the tahini? No, bro. It's for the hummus? No, bro. It's for your fucking sweat.
The audio, so people can get an idea of how the rate at which the air was coming out of the balloon. Okay, but the first time I haven't done it. So you're all getting the tablet, I would imagine. That's what you're doing.
Skip this a little bit.
It's absolute rubbish.
Okay, so now they're connecting the dry air balloon.
It's absolute
the exhaled
rubbish.
breath that they dry.
It's bollocks.
Right?
Here we go.
It really is. And it's the acid that's in your breath, that's mixed with your breath, that puts out the flame, that turns your lime water milky, all this lot. So anyway, so there you go. I think I actually do turn the piece of wood.
That's what happens with your speech when you eat those sweeties, Peter. That's what happens, man. You go all wet like that.
Around, so there we go. I think I'm deflating the balloon.
Yeah, well, you can see on the small inset video. See,
well, it's nervous, isn't it? What's it going to do? Is it going to go out? Who knows?
Yeah, but mainstream has it where you exhale CO2, so that chamber should be filling with CO2.
With CO2, absolutely.
There's no two ways about it.
No two ways about it.
It should be filling with CO2.
Right, CO2, the heavier gas, it should be filling up the bottom of the fucking thing and extinguishing the fire, right?
And because CO2 is heavier than air, that should be filling with CO2, that container.
Thank you guys, it's like I learned everything from you.
One thing I did notice actually when I was looking at the flame while I was deflating the balloon and the air was coming out of the tube, and that is at some points the actual flame was getting brighter. Only you know, at some points it was getting brighter.
Well, I mean, you could actually argue that breathing it through water actually filters out your breath.
And dries the air.
It filters.
Even more.
Passing,
well,
it's not there.
There it got brighter there. You can see it clearly got brighter there.
It's either getting brighter or not fucking or not extinguishing, okay? Which is a big stick in the ass for all the fucking science community and all of the oxygen and carbon dioxide, and you exhale carbon dioxide, right?
But so the balloon's nearly deflated. You know, it's really gone down.
So you put,
and the flame is still alive. It's it's there.
Hasn't gone out.
Hasn't gone out at all. So we do this one more time because we thought, well, hey, you know. I mean, I thought at that time, yeah, that proves that we don't breathe out CO2 at all. Because CO2 ought to have been in that balloon.
Yeah, it's those acids in your breath.
Yeah, absolutely, it's the acids in your breath.
Play a part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're just talking about who's going to make a cup of tea here.
Absolutely, but we decide to do it again, don't we? Just a final time.
Yeah, just a final time. Because you've always got to do things 2 times, 3 times, because you know that you'll always get the same result.
Well, you see, yeah, absolutely, you can't just do it once. But you know, we offer anyone who's interested in this kind of stuff to actually do it themselves, and they'll get the same results. Absolutely. They really will.
You globetrotters.
Because we do not breathe out CO2.
Yeah, it's a myth.
It's a myth. It's an absolute piece of rubbish information.
What?
Unprovable shit.
We breathe in, we breathe out.
Because once we finish, we'll actually, well, I'll tell people what I think happens in respiration. So see those bubbles, you know, again, because
Oh, I'm recording now.
This is them doing it again.
I've got the candle, got the size of the balloon in shot.
See, the flame there's brighter, you know, occasionally it just...
It's flickering, isn't it?
It's moving, so there is a draft going in there, you know. And you can hear the balloon deflating slowly. Yeah, now
Oh,
I would have
yeah.
thought that would have gone out,
Yeah.
but it's still there, it's still lit.
Yeah, watch the end because you're very.
Yeah, it shows no sign of going out, does it?
No, it
That flame.
doesn't. Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, that's
At the
fine.
end of the
I'm
day,
quite happy
We
just
do
to
not
do
breathe
so.
out CO2.
According to this, what you've just seen, we do not breathe out CO2.
Two.
It is absolute bollocks if for anyone to think that we breathe out CO2.
Oh yeah, boys. Oh yeah.
In other
Two angels, bro. They came here from the third heaven or the second heaven just to shine God's truthful light, love, whatever on us, on our petty and dark little minds, which have been corrupted since childhood, since orphancy. Since fetusness. Okay. Where were we? Yeah, carbon dioxide. Yeah, we watched the video. And okay, water is a compound. This is the last one. Believe me, if just save the bookmark with the timestamp and just watch it later or whatever if it's too long for you. Okay, so water is a compound and not an element of its own, right? It's oxygen and hydrogen. Water is made of hydrogen and oxygen, two gases at room temperature. Yeah, but somehow these gases need to be at minus 200 Celsius plus minus, right, to be a liquid. But they tell you no, there's water, which is just at room temperature water, and then it's not water, but it's watery. It's room temperature, and it's still a liquid somehow. Water alone does not conduct electricity. By the way, they have a full PDF book. 100 reasons water is not H2O. That's how it's called. It's in their descriptions. And a great PDF. You should really read it. Water alone does not conduct electricity. Okay, distilled water, deionized water. Okay, does not conduct electricity. You need to put something in the water so it will conduct the electricity, right? One of the proofs shown to your children and you in schools that water consists of hydrogen and oxygen is the electrolysis procedure, right? Let's talk a little about this procedure. They showed us in chemistry class. This is the procedure. Basically, these are two pencils, which is graphene, which is conductive, right? But whatever, just imagine these are two metal rods. These are two metal rods, and this is a 9 to 12 volt a battery, and the cathode is the minus, right, the one the closest to me, and the anode is the plus. Okay, so when you turn this on, when you pass electricity to, oh yeah, and this is H2O, they say to you. This is not H2O. Let's see what they say on the little small letters. Maybe they are specific with what the fuck they are trying to show you here. Wait. Oh yeah, plus some salt or acid. Oh, look at that. So that salt or acid, this is the ionized material, the material that actually passes the electricity, because water cannot pass electricity, right? So from the cathode, the minus, we get hydrogen gas, H2. Why H2? Because in their theory of electrons combining, the hydrogens should combine with another hydrogen, and it forms two hydrogens. No fucking proof of any of that, but whatever. H2 and O2, which is exactly why it's 2, because exactly the same reason as the H, as the hydrogen. So from the anode, the plus, we get the oxygen, and from the cathode, we get the hydrogen. Right? Wrong. This is a specific contraption. And now we'll watch a video. It's getting hot in here, so why don't take off all your clothes? It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I don't know the words for the song. Let's watch this.
Since the 18th century, when Henry Cavendish was the first to recognise water appeared when hydrogen reacted with oxygen, water was no longer considered a single element, but a compound substance, H2O. Later in 1800, Anthony Carlisle and William Nicholson discovered electrolysis by passing a voltaic current through water, decomposing it into its constituent elements of hydrogen and oxygen. This method has now become known as the electrolysis of water, or water splitting. To demonstrate this method, a simple setup comprises two electrodes.
More like the electrolysis of the salts that it's in the water, because water doesn't conduct electricity on its own, so why are we splitting the water here? Red flag number one, but whatever.
Merged in a solution containing an electrolyte, whether this be a little salt or acid that is added to water. A small amount of electricity.
So here they use sodium hydroxide. What did they use?
Is then passed through the solution and gases are generated at each electrode. Hydrogen at the cathode and oxygen at the anode. However, is it really the case water is indeed split into hydrogen and oxygen using the electrolytic method, or could it be the gas products come from these? The electrolytes and or the materials used for the electrodes.
You can be very intelligent and very good at what you do, and you can still be stupid.
Best intro ever.
Hi there.
I fucking love their channel, man. I fucking love you guys. Really, I fucking do, man.
I'm Pete, the other half of Peter and Pete, and in this video we're going to look at the electrolysis of water to see if water can indeed be split. And to help us do this, we're going to look at this piece of educational material. It's called the electrolysis of water.
Something that is given in all of your schools, children's, right? Provable instruction manual, just like we talked with the oxygen machine, the splitting machine, right?
Water, and is published by the US Department of Energy. A link can be found in the description.
How can they be lying to us? How is it be? How can it be?
Below. Now, this publication is designed for teachers, and one of its aims is to get students to explain how hydrogen can be extracted from water. Students will achieve this by taking a sample of salt water and adding a flow of electricity to it. The electrolysis. Students will see the hydrogen and oxygen bubbling up. So the information clearly tells us that by following the procedure laid out in the material, one can indeed split water to produce oxygen and hydrogen. The materials used are a battery or power supply, 2 pieces of aluminium foil, some salt. Now, it doesn't state what kind of salt, so we're going to use table salt or sodium chloride.
Sodium chloride, sodium chloride, chlorine, sodium.
As it's readily
not chlorine, chloride, but whatever. It's pretty close.
Available. And we're also going to be using some electrical wires with alligator clips, a beaker and a stirring rod. We don't need the graduated cylinder and the journal, so we'll forget about them. So we fill up a beaker with distilled water and add some table salt. We'll give it a little stir. Now when that's done, we'll next roll up our 2 pieces of aluminium foil so we have some long lengths, and we'll place the ends in the salt solution. We'll now connect the 2 pieces of aluminium with the alligator clips to the battery or power supply and see what happens. Now you can clearly see bubbles being generated at each electrode, and those gases are hydrogen at the cathode, the negative terminal, and oxygen at the anode, the positive terminal. So there you have it, I guess. We've now split water into hydrogen and oxygen, following these simple instructions. Easy. But hold on a minute. The information in the material doesn't ask us to test the gas products. So how do we know we've actually generated hydrogen?
The scientific skeptical document doesn't ask you to test the fucking thing they are trying to convey to you? Shocker.
And oxygen. But more to the point, how do we know we've actually split water? Well, we'll come to the second part in a minute, but answering the first part is easy. All we need to do is collect enough of the gas products and test them. That way we'll know what they are. We know hydrogen is flammable, and a test tube filled with hydrogen will produce a squeaky pop when a lit splint is introduced into the test tube.
A classic test for hydrogen, by the way. This is 2023 right now, right? Classic test for fucking hydrogen, bro. You know how many gases you can create that make this effect, that do this effect, right? The squeaky pop. And this is the test. This is whatever does this, hydrogen. We're gonna talk about hydrogen a little bit.
Classic test for oxygen is oxygen will relight a glowing splint. We've now changed our setup so that we can collect the gas products. We're still using a sodium chloride solution, and as you can see the gases are racing off at the electrodes and being collected in the upturned test tubes. Well, we've now collected the gases, so let's test them to see what they are. Did we get hydrogen at the cathode? Yes, that squeaky pop sound was very conclusive. It was indeed hydrogen. Now let's test the gas we collected at the anode. Is it oxygen?
That one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have it.
Well, something is wrong here. The glowing splint failed to relight and extinguished, so we clearly did not generate oxygen at the anode. As we didn't generate oxygen at the anode, what gas did we generate? Well, to find out, we'll place a piece of moistened litmus paper in a test tube filled with the gas once we've collected more at the anode and see what happens.
pH.
Well, look at that. The moist litmus paper has been bleached, and that's simply because we used the chloride as an electrolyte, and chlorides are a source of chlorine gas. Of course, so now we know what's happening. We're splitting the sodium chloride, not the water. Well, it's clear from the...
And now, just to keep you up to date, because this is an old video and they did more tests about what is hydrogen, basically, right? So, I'm gonna explain it in detail a little bit in a few minutes, but if you change the so the oxygen is a chloride, right, which in this demonstration specifically that they did, which is with sodium chloride, which is table salt, right? Sodium chloride. So the flame of the hydrogen in this test is yellow. Yellow is sodium. Okay, that's a yellow flame of sodium. Okay, so this is an explosive sodium gas. This is not hydrogen. This is a pressure system with pieces of sodium in it, right? These pieces turn the flame yellow. And how can we prove it? How did they demonstrate it really fucking well? Is when you turn that salt into wine. Turn that salt. No, they turn that salt into another salt. Well, let's say calcium carbonate, right? They put on calcium carbonate in the test, and voila, the flame of the hydrogen turns what? Turns red, which is red calcium. Calcium burning gives you a red flame, by the way. So what is hydrogen, right? So what the fuck is hydrogen? They have a test, actually. They have a test on some one of their videos. They have a test where they actually they let the hydrogen, the pressure itself, right? It's hydrogen. I need to understand this. Hydrogen is just pressure with the bits of flammable material in it. Okay, this is just ready pressure from the material that is put in the water. It's hard to explain, but you should learn it for yourself. I can't explain it all right here, but the flame color. They actually did a test, right? Where they disconnected the flaming color giving particles from the pressure itself, okay, and then they opened up the test tube after a couple of months. Okay, they opened up the test tube after a couple of months. They put not a glowing split, a lit splint, okay, a flaming lit split near the top, and it didn't explode like hydrogen. It's supposed to, you know, it's the lightest thing ever, right? So it's supposed to float out in the air. It didn't. It stayed in the capsule as pressure, and only when they poked that pressure with that glowing with that burning stick, it went without a flame color, without a flame at all, just went like an invisible balloon. So hydrogen, whatever hydrogen is, could be just pressure, right? It's coming off these solid materials, pressure. And the flame color is the material, the other half of the salt they put in. If it's calcium, if it's sodium, right? Voila. So what is hydrogen again? Explain to me.
Demo, we're splitting the electrolyte and not any water. And this educational material is clearly wrong. Another thing I became aware of through carrying out...
This is the decomposition of the metal rods, which in this case are aluminium rods, and it decomposes right back into borax and whatever they put in aluminium, like cyanide or something, or not solid, fluoride, whatever it is. They put in aluminium, it decomposes into those things, back into those things. So how can you tell me that this is an element? Aluminum, aluminium, aluminum. How is it an element? Or iron, for that matter. Or anything on that fucking table. It's a table of fucking products, man. We have been fooled.
Simple demonstrations was
they know nothing about nature. And we don't know shit about nature. That's another thing I want to convey to you in here, okay? This is a really sad story for your fucking ego right here, okay? So, listen here. We are lost fucking children out here. We are lost, retarded children. We are a little bit smarter than animals. That's all we are, okay? We have a little bit more memory, which is an ability to travel back in time, and we have an ability to travel more in time, forward in time, right? Which is thought, imagination, right? So animals have that, but in really shallow like spaces. And with all of this fucking magical thing we have, right, here and here, however above animals we think we are, right, we're not really. Like, we are retarded, lost children. We don't know what the fuck is a tree. We can guess what it is, and we don't know what it is. You're not God. You didn't create this, right? You don't know what a tree is. We don't know what is a pebble on the beach. They say it a lot of times. That's actually a phrase I stole from them. We don't know what the fuck is a pebble on the beach, but a scientist, he knows. It's a volcano that erupted 300 years ago, and now this stone is here. How can you prove it? Oh, because when I put the stone in acid, and I put the stone near the volcano 300 miles away from that, I don't know, whatever, in acid, they turn into the same dust. What this is proof for my theory, right? Again, fucking contrived magic tricks that are there to convince the jury or convince the rich folk to whatever, to believe them and give them money, and you know, yeah, fucking sad. So this is and again, a real hit to your fucking ego. We're probably never gonna know what is this. What is this? We're probably never gonna know what is, because to know you need to be that thing, which is another spiritual teaching and whatever, but you need to be that thing, right? So we can't be that thing. We're lost, retarded children, and you need to. We are smart. I'm not telling you don't go out and explore. Explore, think critically, and test things out. Okay, it's good to invent things. It's good that we have products on the table. But these are not elements. These fucking lies, man. These are fucking lies. And we don't know shit. Okay? So just fucking get on the fucking earth, okay? From the fucking cloud you're sitting on. Get on earth with us humans and give us a fucking hug already, okay? Stop fucking acting like you're above anybody else. Nobody's above anybody here, okay? Some people learn a bit more. Some people train a bit more. Some people do this or good and that. Nobody's better than nobody. There's a fucking limit here, okay? An obvious fucking limit here, okay? This is what your ego should fucking know. A huge hit for your ego, by the way. The ego that the school system developed in you, right? I know what air is. I know what water is. You wanna argue about it? I have my Google over here, right? Crazy, man, crazy Agent Smith, bro. We're living in the Matrix, literally living in the Matrix.
The electrodes decomposed. I mean, we continued the electrolysis detailed in the printed material for quite some time, and check out the state of the salt solution. It's literally turned grey. Where's all that stuff come from? Well, that stuff must have come from the aluminium. The aluminium has clearly broken down. Well, I think water splitting and the electrolysis of water is total and utter rubbish. I don't think water can be split at all, and the gas products simply come from these. The electrolytes added to water,
or the metal
and or the electrodes, the material that's used for the electrodes. So it seems very likely the electrolysis of water doesn't prove water is made of hydrogen and oxygen at all. But let us know what you think. How would you prove water can actually be split through the process of electrolysis? And how would you prove water is made of hydrogen and oxygen? Let us know in the comments below. So there you have it. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And remember to hit that bell icon so you'll know when new material is uploaded. So thanks again, and we'll see you later.
The earth isn't round.
A round of applause, please. A round of applause. This is the last video we're gonna view today, and let's go quickly through this thing. I'm half an hour late. I'm half an hour late for the freedom movement, and we need to talk about important things over there. So yeah, this is what I try to explain while we watch the video, so I can make this shorter. Okay, when changing the type of materials that conducts electricity, the salts, right, that conducts electricity in the water to another material, the color of the flame that comes out of the side of the cathode, the hydrogen, the side from which an element called hydrogen comes out of, according to them, changes. The color of the flame changes, exactly what I told you a couple of minutes ago, and corresponds to the material from which they are made to conduct, which they made the conductive material they put in the water. Okay, sodium-based salt will emit burning sodium-colored flame, yellow, and a calcium-based salt will emit flame color burning calcium, with the color of burning calcium, red. So why the fuck are we showing this to kids as proof that we're splitting the water? As proof that water is a chemical compound, hydrogen and oxygen? Can somebody tell me? Because I didn't find any answer. The answer is very simple. Oh yeah, I did find an answer. The answer is very simple. To produce a whole generation of people who lack true scientific skeptical thought, who do not know what proof is, and who believe in the images and words of authorities. Exactly what we're having right now. They showed you a photograph of a cell dying in fucking in antibiotic fluid and acids and whatever they put in there. The cell is decomposing and dying. They filmed that, and they put it on the fucking news, and they told you, oh, you see this? This is the coronavirus, right? This is what they told you. This is a coronavirus, and everybody just look at that picture. I had men who are 35 years old plus, 2 men who actually told me, Sonia, How can you not believe this? They are showing you an image. The authority is showing you an image. So what? I'm gonna show you the image of my boys down there, okay? And this is proof for fucking a galaxy out there or something. I don't know. Would you believe it? No, because it's me. I'm not. Oh shit, wait. Just let me wear my white coat and then maybe you will fucking believe me. Fucking idiots. Otherwise, they will be punished from all sides, yeah? And they will not be accepted into the club and will not receive more money than their neighbors to impress mama and dada. Alright, fucking little children, bro. They keep you a little stupid child that believes mother and father, that is afraid to come out of the house because your stupid fucking asshole parents scare you into. Don't go out. It's dangerous. There's nothing to see there. Blah, blah, blah. This is exactly you, but 40, 50, 60-year-olds, and this is fucking sad. It's fucking sad, okay? It's beyond sad. Every time I think about it deeply, I wanna hurl and cry at the same fucking time. So they play out as though they know what water is and know what air is, playing God basically, when in practice they don't want you to know that no one knows and that we are actually all on the same page here. We have the same limit. No one is better than the other here. Eventually, nobody is better than anybody else. Nobody. So what is the hydrogen gas that comes out of the cathode? First of all, note that this gas changes flame colors. This means that what makes the flame and its color is a conductive material inside the water, which is the one that breaks down, not the water. That is, it is possible to assume that the flame is made of tiny particles of the conductive material, right? One half of that salt inside a pressure system, a gas. Peter and Pete were able to make a demonstration. This is exactly what I explained a few minutes ago in the video. A demonstration where they let these particles relax and settle in a test tube while the pressure remains inside on the top. When they opened the test tube and tried to bring a burning wooden stick to its opening, not only did the pressure system not come out of the test tube, hydrogen is supposed to be light and fly up in the air, but also there was no flame color, no flame, but only a poof. Okay, a pressure popping, and as if someone blew up an inflated air balloon. Okay, that is this strongly. That is, it's a translation. It's a Google Translate. This strongly indicates that the hydrogen in the pressure system is the pressure inside the irons in the solution, inside the metals in the solution, right? That is because to make the metals you need to burn it up in 2000 degrees Celsius and whatever metal it is, right? So you need to burn it, you need to put a lot of pressure and heat in it, right? So you can say that this material, this cake, saves those properties, saves that compressed air or pressure inside those whatever. And when you decompose that hard material, right, when you decompose it, it actually it releases that pressure again. If that's anyhow logical to you, and if you want to connect the dots a little bit more on that, just imagine a super smooth surface, a glass surface, okay, for example, connecting to another flat glass super smooth surface, right? What do you get? A vacuum. You can't even fucking pull it out. So what if toughness of material, what if the toughness of the material is that nothing, is that vacuum? You know what I'm saying? And then when you decompose it, it releases it turns back into pressure. If that's making any sense to you right now, okay? I know this is new material for a lot of you, but bear with me here, okay? Just think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Everything exists because of nothing, basically. Which is corresponding exactly with the natural laws, by the way. We're going to talk about this later. in another episode, not here. So the explanation from the world of science corresponds to the explanation from the world of religion. When someone tells you that the atom gave an electron, or an electron moved from here to there and changed the material, or did the effect that we see with our eyes, it is the same as saying that Christ himself, or an angel, yes, or like what we told, like we said in the beginning of the episode, like 2 hours ago, that Christ came and made the effect that we see. Then they sit with chemistry books and think that they are above beliefs and religion. They laugh at religious people. I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist. Look at me. I believe in real fucking true whateverness. I don't believe in a God, a creator, or spirituality. Fuck that shit, man. I'm an atheist, and you're a fucking religion fucking idiot. You follow a book that somebody wrote to you and said to you that this is how the world works. What are you, a fucking retard? This is exactly what you are doing. Atheist, this is exactly what you are doing. Who the fuck are you laughing at? Nigga, who the fuck are you laughing at? No, really. Friends, you are the new religion, bro. The religion of science. The religion of science. Nothing more, nothing less. Bro. And what ignites in hydrogen and makes the flame, color of the flame, these are the conductive substances that are put in the water, like we talked about, the calcium and sodium and whatever. Okay, so scientific measuring devices, right? We already talked, how about devices that measure oxygen and measure carbon dioxide, right? How about that? We already talked a little about the oxygen meter in hospitals, right? Which measures how much light passes through your fingers, but claims that it measures the amount of oxygen in your blood fluid. What about oxygen meter that tests the air? It measures how many, talked about it before that, it measures how much electricity passes between two metal pegs, rods, I don't know why I translate it to pegs, but whatever. The same goes for carbon dioxide meter, pegs. Who likes pegging? That buff guy, fuck, True Jordy, yeah! I like the guy, man. He's so honest, man, he's so honest, fuck me. The same goes for a carbon dioxide meter, right? The same goes for a TDS meter. I should have brought mine here, which claims to represent 1 part per million of electrically conductive ions or material in the sample, right? But it actually measures the fucking how much electricity, the resistance, basically, the resistance, and it tells you a number, and that number shows you how many atoms or whatever they want to claim, ions of conductive material there is in that water. It just measures conductiveness, it just measures resistance and gives you a number on the screen, and you look at it and you say, oh, I know, you know shit, you know how much resistance this formulated, contrived, machine, not a machine, tool, right, is showing you, and you're just in the matrix. Oh yeah, look at that. The water conducts electricity, I know everything. The same goes for a calcium meter, which is that represents a number on the board that is calculated from the electrical resistance between two metal rods. Again, with their electrical fucking shit, right? So there, another thing I wanted to mention here, there for the smart asses over there, over here, over everywhere, there are things such as chromatography and spectrography, right, and more, where they either break the materials into small parts and pass a certain amount of light through them, which is exactly what we talked about here, and get an image which they can compare to other materials that they put in the test. For example, they electrify the material until it burns and check the electrical resistance, okay, and compare it to other samples in the same test. And if the resistance is the same, they say to you, oh, it has the same material. No, bro. You can't say to me it has the same material because it passes the same amount of fucking electricity through the burning, whatever, through this contrived, again, test that you're doing here, right? It's maybe good for some specific fucking thing, one thing that you can only test for this specific, yeah, sure, but they're trying to convince you that that the iron in the plant is the same as the iron in your body, as the same as the iron in, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to compare shit that you cannot compare without any proof. Okay, and this is exactly what they did with the virology. If you want to go and watch the secret episode, please do. It's not on YouTube, because it cannot be on YouTube, because we live in a world where I can't even talk freely anymore unless I get punished. Thank you, our ancestors, for not fighting for that at all, for just flowing with it and flowing with it. Now 2023, and I'm fucking sitting here in my fucking house, in my fucking show, on my fucking channel, and I can't even fucking talk about shit. Talk, not convince people to burn shit and, you know, kick, I don't know, do some violent, I don't know. You know what I'm saying, man. I'm not a fucking, I'm not a terrorist. I'm not doing anything, but I'm just talking. I'm just a crazy person, right? You have your whole fucking system of paychecks and people who are above the law, right? And whatever else privileges you have, right? I'm just a psycho, bruh. I'm just a psycho. Who cares what I talk about, right? Well, they care. So in the spectrometry, why can't you pass air through those tests to check if it's oxygen and nitrogen? They can't, because air is a fucking element, and water for that, and they can't, because you need to contrive it. You need to make it so that the machine will conduct the electricity, whatever. It's really fucking contrived and specific, and excuse me, it's not a proof or anything. This is exactly how they can claim that the metal they prepare in a factory or laboratory is exactly the same one that your body uses, or the same one that is found in your food, right? And let me show you this. This is what they show you. This is what they show you when you. This is calcium. This is an element of calcium. This is what they show you on the periodic table. This is an element of calcium, bro. This is calcium. This is not calcium. This is a metal you made from calcium. You took calcium, you put other fucking materials in it, you baked the metal cake, as we explained earlier, and you made this metal. This is not what goes in my fucking body. And they can actually put this in a fucking supplement and tell you, oh, here's your fucking calcium, eat it up, bitch. You can't eat this. This will explode in your fucking stomach acids, actually. What was that? Calcium metal. It explodes in water, basically. Okay, as I told with the calcium oxide, right? The earthly metals, they are really after you turn them into a metal, they are really unstable. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you here. Let's close this, and this is the end of the presentation. I promise you, this is the end, okay? I promise you, I promise myself. I promise you, I promise myself that I'm never gonna do this again. No, just kidding. So yeah, now the thanks for watching will arrive shortly. In the meanwhile, let's talk about a few things. How are you? How are your kids? Be aware of imitations. Don't forget to put a like. It helps a lot, and a lot of you are subscribed to me, but I can see you that you are watching, but you're not subscribed to me. So it's not fair, okay? I want to make money. Don't forget to put a like. Or for any matter, you can respond here or contact my Instagram or Facebook. Remember that the truth is one. It is simple, and it is constantly under our noses. However retarded we are, okay? Or we're not, whatever. Getting proof is more difficult than it seems, okay? It's more difficult than it seems. Getting proof, real proof, undoubtable fucking evidence. It's something you can't, okay? This is really hard to get. Remember that, okay? Not that stupid shit they claim is science, right? So everyone needs to get down from the high fucking horses and get back to earth and give us a hug. Please, just give us a fucking hug. Stop being such a fucking Nazi. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. We're gonna go around with applause. And now you can officially go fuck yourself, and that's what I'm gonna do exactly after I take a fucking shower. Love you.